No, it belongs to HRC yet, and so he talked to HRC, no, it belongs to the city. Finally I took Wally, and I told him, I said, I'm moved in, guys. And they said, you are? I said, yeah, I've been in there about a week. Oh, well, yeah, what are we gonna do about turning that on? I said, well, you gotta turn it on, you know? Well, you know, the signs, they didn't put the no trespassing signs on the fence that they I lost it, and Wally was with me, and I talked to him as much as I was gonna talk nice. I said, you know what, guys? He said, what? I said, oh, my muffins, I'll hang them up there tomorrow. I probably got some in my house. And they just, there's no reason to beat them with them. They said, the hell with it. You guys know you own that. You own it. Say you own it. Yeah, you know. Done with it. Morning, Roland.
Well, you know, Willie.
Willie stood up, and that's exactly what they told me. He goes, yep, guys, you're right. And they didn't say a word. Yeah. So then they came up with an agreement. Well, we'll do it for a year. We'll try it for a year. You can be hooked up for a year. Jeez. And I said, well, I'm hooked up. I'm hooked up. So yeah. Now there's been Travis has built 2 other houses there. And I mean, 3. I guess there's 3 other houses there.
So how many lots?
There was 13. I think originally it was 14. They turned one into. There's an old skid trail that goes down to the river, and they turned that into a walking trail. So they did 1 lot. So I think there's 13.
Oh, okay. And 3 of them are.
3 of them are built on. 4 of them. 4 of them are
dancing.
They're dancing. 4 of them are built. 4 of them are built on.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get out of the way.
Hello.
You can come back. You can come back.
No, I'm good.
No, seriously.
No, I know. I'm good here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said,
He
hello.
wants to be here.
Are you ignoring me?
No, and he'll know. No, but Justice.
Justice
and.
Oh, maybe she did.
No.
She did, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
Justice and District. And I can go make you one. District even. She doesn't drink coffee, but she brought in like the syrups and everything.
Morning, Nolan. Hey, how are you doing? Good. How are you? Good. Good. I'll get you my cousin, Rosemary.
I'm just gonna kind of go over what you already know for the sweep account.
Okay, and then going forward,
Sure.
Well, just amongst here.
Yeah, well, I'm not dead yet. We're doing this under administrative.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Rowan, I got coffee here if you want coffee. I do. How much creamer are you like in it?
Oh, you making it?
Well, I got some right there in that deal.
Oh, I'll get the creamer.
just a little one.
I got creamer in it. I'm just asking.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
Okay.
beggars can't be choosers, right?
I know it. I was just gonna say that too. You like as much as I put in there, right?
Yeah. Whatever. I'm easy.
Now, if I have a breakdown this afternoon, it's your fault.
I'll just give him a little bit and I'll.
Oh, I take it back. I didn't even put cream in it, Roman.
What's that?
I didn't even put cream in it. I was so late.
You are.
Yeah.
You're a fibber now.
That just. Wow. There you go.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And that's black. We don't have the good liquid stuff.
I don't think so.
I got some in my back pocket if you want.
Okay. It's been sitting there for a couple
I
days.
don't know what kind of liquid you're talking
Hey, now.
The silver flask.
Oh, well, that'll work. Kahlua.
So Don is asking me to, I think, do a presentation in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
A full investment presentation.
That's good.
Which I think would be good for all of us, you know, us to kind of work the kinks out and what we really want to address and whatnot. So when Roman finally gets back, we'll go ahead and start this.
Okay.
Got my coffee, I'm good now.
I'm kidding you.
I know you are.
So the main thing that we're doing here is which I needed to know is, I didn't understand what the Mineral County sweep account was about. We went through, investments with UBS, all of us but you. It's in effect the same thing. But what they do is they sweep the account, so if you open the Trail West bank account, you'll see,
See the amount in
that
there.
basically all these FDIC insured institutions, they're all banks. So if you look to the column to the right, every one of those numbers is under 250,000,
Right,
which is
because they stopped
secured
at
amount.
250 kind of threshold.
So it is in effect the same thing that Dave is doing at UBS. He's putting it not in bank accounts, but CDs and that kind of stuff. This they can swap out daily. They just make sure that they transferred into the accounts and back out. But they keep out whatever we need to operate. So if you look at this little guy right here,
Yep.
and this little guy, okay?
Front page.
So if you look where the green is, those are CDs through Trail West that are only St. Regis School District.
Only St. Regis,
Because she is investing her own money,
the school district,
the
let's
school district,
and who is their
Tina Hill.
Tina?
But that's county money.
It's St. Regis School District money.
After we collect the property taxes, we get into the school districts and then it becomes theirs to do what they want.
Right. And it goes into their budgeted funds.
So you're saying you have no control of
They have their own board, their own school district, their own, they hire their teachers, they take their money, they do what they want with their bottom money, whether you build a new school or roof or whatever.
Now, I will either call her or send out a thing saying, we just wanted to let you know that these rates are changing and you should, look into it or whatever.
that? So where does that interest go? All $29.
Let's see. It would depend on where they are operating it through. It would be the same that place that our interest would go. The
Okay.
sweep account, I think it goes back into there.
Okay.
You cannot add to budgeted funds.
Well, here.
Oh, there he is. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question on that then? Because it's county money that you give to the school district based on a mill or something.
Correct.
And then the interest off that money comes back to the county somewhere. Now, according to Jessica, when I talked about this, the interest on the road fund goes back into the general fund. It does not go back into the budgeted amount, which is probably, I guess, similar to this.
There's a difference.
Okay.
The school's money, the interest on the school money goes to the school because it actually isn't our money. We are the collecting person, we're the entity that gathers it up, that sends out the tax bills, that does the rest. But the school's funds that go to the school, if we hold those monies instead of the school holding them, if we invest the money, the interest off that money goes to the school district, it doesn't go to the county itself.
You're right,
It's the
you're
school's
right.
money. However, the road fund money is different, that is the county's money.
Okay.
So that money off the road fund goes to the county, and generally because it's interest, which is made money, unless there's a requirement on a grant that stays in that grant fund or something, that goes to the county general fund. And that is not designated to spend a certain place. You can use it as commissioners, any other things that are, quote, the county's business. It's general fund money, not limited to only roads money, that's what I'm saying.
They're all different. Rhodes has his own budget.
He has a budget, but the
he makes
budget
his own
doesn't go to
budget.
his budget. The budget The interest money goes to the county coffers, to spend whatever, because that budget is set by the commissioners.
We cannot raise budgeted funds though.
The interest doesn't raise the budgeted funds.
Okay,
That's, yeah, I'm saying it a different way, I'm saying the same thing.
So it goes back into
The
sweep-
general,
The general or the sweep account?
generally it goes, well, the sweep account is basically the general fund that you run off of. It's the commissioner's money to allocate it where they want it to go. If you put it back in the sweep account, you can have it there, it's free to spend, or you can put it into the general budget and spend it where you want to spend it, or put it in other things you need as the year goes along, or use it the next year. It's your choice. Commissioner's decision.
so in,
But in the case of the school, it just goes back to the school.
It goes back to the school. Because we are just a trustee of that money, basically. That's kind of the wrong word, but that's what we are as the trustee. The same with the money we collect for the conservation district. They take their mill, we're the collecting entity, but that isn't our money to do whatever with. So if it makes interest, and the district doesn't take it back right away, it makes interest, that's the district's money, not our money. Our as in the county.
right, so we're in effect like a bank for the school districts, the fire halls, all the outside. of it.
Right, and oftentimes they have the county do it. The districts and stuff do, because they're not set up book-wise. They're not really set up as well to have enough horsepower to get a good rate out of it, or they're not set up to do it. So a lot of times we do it for them, and that works better many times.
So, but from the very beginning, St. Regis has always had their own CDs. If you look at this little guy, gray one, you can come up here and peek if you
It's
want.
okay.
So the reason we have that amount in there is it's operating funds for the whole year. If you look at October 21 and October 22, on the left-hand side, see,
Yeah.
they're the lowest.
Yeah, dip down.
And then also April, you're down to 2.8.
Yeah,
So the reason is that we're spending all of our money and then boom, we get all the property tax in
and then we
November.
look flush for a while.
Yep, and then so we're operating off of that.
Mhm.
As far as, investing, we would have to do it prior to that if we did like 1 year ones that you guys are thinking about. So that it would come due maybe in September, so that we could cover.
I'm not thinking about 1 year, I'm thinking about whatever it takes to match this, and you can do it in 3-month increments. And typically, the shorter the interest, or shorter the CD term, the higher the interest rate. So you could go through this, you can go back historically, find out what your heavy months are, and what the lowest you've ever been. You can invest this money at a higher rate.
Right.
And just so that you know, and I spoke with Mary yesterday, but Alan authorized me to let you guys know from Trails West that if there's $10 million in a sweep account, he'll go 4.5% interest. That's huge. So when you look at your overall investments, if there's some place you can pull it out of that's making less than that, and put it in a sweep account, is huge for the county. So, and he also said that he would match anybody who would like to be a part of the community, and to make sure that you guys know that he's willing to negotiate at any point. Some of these CDs, they may not be able to because they are locked in and they're regulated, but like the sweep account, not the case. He can,
Right.
and I don't know, Roman, does he know the 3%?
Yeah, so,
Yesterday, Trails West went from 0.05 to 3%.
Yeah.
That's a $200,000 swing in one phone call.
Mhm.
So that's
within 5
huge.
minutes, if
Yeah,
I may add.
they were calling you a lot.
Yeah, like, yes.
Good job, Mary.
So, there's definitely room to move, and I think if we really put all of our heads together and work as a team to, maybe so we have some money out here in Raymond James that I think we can mess with. It's only 800. But I think we can pull that into one of these higher interest rates. I think there's a lot we could do if we look at the overall picture, and then let's do some bidding wars. Let's let's go back to
I think we just
UBS. Well,
Yeah.
but now let's go back to UBS and say, hey, guess what?
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter, they're only gonna go so high,
Yeah.
they got New York
Yeah.
Prime to deal with, and Travel West said they're gonna match anybody, so pretty easy anymore.
But in addition to that, I understand like the 3 month right now, great, because we're in everything's really going great right now, right? But what if we get back down into that slump of the 5 years that we were paying 1.5%? That's why I'd like a few of these to be 5-year rolling, especially if the percents aren't gonna go any higher.
Well, the first thing,
The some, not all. I think it needs to be a combination.
if I can speak, I don't wanna
go ahead.
beat out a
No,
turd
go
here,
ahead.
but the first thing you gotta have is a budget, so you know what direction you're going, if you can even go out 5 years. We don't even know how much money we're spending, and how much we got in reserves, all that stuff plays a part. Taxes are gonna change every year.
Right.
There's a cost of living increase that comes every year on taxes. This year, it's gonna be higher than it was last year. Last year was 1.77%. This year is gonna be extremely higher. That's gonna put extra money in your coffers. So there's a lot of homework to done before we figure out how to invest this money,
Correct.
in my opinion. And I'm just saying that to the commissioners. I mean, you can't say we've got $8 million here, let's move around and do this, because you're gonna have to spend some of it. You're gonna have additional income coming in. You're gonna have a whole bunch of variables, and we need a business plan, and we need a budget to move forward.
And there may be emergencies, you know, where you're gonna have to,
Right.
And
may
that's-
not want to, but we may have to.
And that's all part of it.
Yeah,
Part
yeah.
of the budget and the business plan, you know, you've gotta have a reserve of some kind. But that reserve then is something that, you know, then you gotta decide, the commissioners have to decide whether they want that reserve for 1 year or 3 months, or you guys know what's lying out there potentially.
The other thing to remember with CDs is, I don't know what Trails West does with it, but I know that FIB, First Interstate, Stockman's, Glacier, they will usually loan you money against your CD, like a quarter point over the CD rate. So if you had $500,000 in CDs sitting there, you needed that because we blew up a grader, we blew up a truck, we blew up a bridge, whatever it is, if they'll loan you the money for the 4 months it takes to do the work at a quarter point over, it's basically nothing. You don't have to cash a CD, you don't have to break the terms, you don't have to take the penalty, then at the end of the time, you pay it back, whatever else. So that works really well in terms of the ability to actually keep the fund going, but it doesn't have to be liquid, you cash the CD today. If you can get the money that cheap, that's how to do it. Just be aware that's out there.
But everything in this Trail West is liquid, because it's just going into different bank accounts, right?
In the everything except those CDs.
Correct.
But they're somewhat irrelevant to this conversation anyway, because not everybody can do
But rather than borrow at a 1/4% over, wouldn't we want to have no loan?
it. But I think what he's talking about, if you had a 5-year thing out there.
Right.
And
We
we
had an emergency.
we have an emergency, you can borrow at a 1/4% over.
Exactly, that's the
Still
point.
leave it in there for 5 years.
Right.
Or 3.
If we had to go
So
that
if you
route.
pull that 5-year out, you're gonna lose 4.5%, or you're gonna pay a 1/4%, whatever you want to do.
Correct, but we have this as part of our working budget, or you wouldn't have.
Yeah, but any dollars you take out of that, you're taking it out at 3% right now. And
So these are, I thought this was a daily at Trail West.
It is 3%.
Right.
Every day on the amount of money that's in there.
Correct. So this isn't a
anytime you
3-year
take-
rolling or a 5-year rolling.
No,
That's what I'm talking about, is we have
the sweep
this.
doesn't have any 5 years.
Correct.
No.
That's what I was saying.
No, but you were talking about using money out of the sweep account, and if you use money out of the sweep account, it's gonna cost you 3% on that money.
Right.
Where Wally's saying if you just leave that in there and borrow against it, it costs you 1/4%.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep, I got you.
If they do that, I don't know.
Or they do.
Good.
They usually do it for you, Dwayne, because when they're dealing with this much money, they want the business. What they really want to do is be able to say, yes, Federal County banks with us. That's why they didn't have banks here now locally, but Stockman, FIB, and Glacier, the big three, are always willing to do that because they want to say this county banks with us too. They figure if they get people from the local community to have accounts there, that's their best advertising. So they're willing to go those rates and do it a lot better because they also know we don't borrow money very damn often. And also, we're gonna pay it back That's the other thing they like, is the risk quotient with us is pretty close to zero.
I think we did that on the nursing home up there, didn't we? Borrow some money.
Boy, I don't know.
That was done before me, yeah.
They did. And so it has happened in the past, and so it's something that, you know, actually the commissioners need to, it'd probably be good if you set up with the bank and have them come down and talk about all these things, because you guys are the only ones that can make that decision.
Maybe Jessica would be able to, she's still on vacation.
No, they didn't go.
Oh, they didn't go.
Yeah.
She kinda indicated to me that she wasn't gonna get too hung up into the investment portion.
Yeah, she told me that. Yeah.
Oh, at least she can help you with how much money you should or can.
And,
Oh,
and,
I think she's the one, along with Mary, to set up the budget. Is that what
You bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that, I mean, that's a pretty big job, it looks to me like, to figure out.
And like you said, timing can be critical, and also which ones are gonna be covered, FDIC, we don't wanna step in that.
and anybody that we deal with, any bank or Dave at UBS, they're all very aware of the 250,
Mhm.
you know, and they're not gonna let us, they're protecting us.
Well, the reason they do this, like with Trails West, that's called LIDAR, and they have a program that automatically invests in a group of banks around. And so that's a given with all banks. If they can't handle that account, they can do a number of accounts and stay within the regulation. But when they get over that, then they go to this LIDAR program, and it's a group of banks that they use all the time. So, but, you know, an example of this, and you guys tell me to shut up.
Willie might say.
I'm used to using that. And I don't listen. But, getting back to like the Schedule A, you know, we had a lot of money hanging out there for a long period of time. And that would go back in the sweep account, that 100,000 at 3%. So when we get ready to schedule our next project, we should actually schedule payments too. So you could invest that $1 million that we put in there over a period of time and say, okay, we're gonna make, and the government does this all the time, Forest Service does it all the time. We're gonna make status payments in June, and August, and September, and whatever. So the contractors know when they bid the job, they're not gonna get a paycheck until June or August, September. It's not uncommon. And then that money is invested at 3%. Right now, you got $1 million set aside in the sweep account, and it's making some money. But if you have to hold it like we just did, we just had this billing, and there was several $100,000 or a few $100,000, I don't know what the numbers exactly, that didn't get invoiced to the Forest Service. We were losing 3% on that the whole time it was sitting there. So those are all things that can be put into this budget to make sure that, you know, this money is laddered over time, so you're getting the maximum amount of return on your investment. So it's just a big project, but I think that Jessica and Mary can.
I am not the brains of this outfit, I really am not. I don't understand, as I listen to you guys, I learn. But for me, I think timing with this is critical. If there's anything we can do to make some quick changes and some quick decisions and do some 3 months things until maybe that gives us time to build a plan or to do some things, but it's tens of thousands of dollars we lose a week here with indecision. And I for one would be hugely disappointed if the commissioners didn't have something put together for Monday with Alan to sit down and talk about that. I'm all in favor, just my opinion, you guys, I'm all in favor of keeping this business local if it's competitive, and it sounds like it will be. And you know, and for the commissioners to control this entire program is critical in my mind. You guys have to decide where this money's gonna go, what we're gonna do with the interest money. You know, I look at around the county here and I see Darlow's investing and looking with optimism at the county. I see the Superior Color doing the same thing. You know, none of us, and I respect your thoughts about making sure we don't get upside down, because what if happens? And I understand what if happens, but I just don't think that we should decide how we operate the county entirely on what if. I think the commissioners should be optimistic about how we're gonna bring Mineral County back to the top of the heap. And I hope you guys look at these investments and look at this income, these interest income as a way to do some of the things that we talk about almost regularly. I'm about building this county up, not about being a worry ward about what if the bridge collapse. You know, if we have major things that happen in the county, that federal government, states all step up. You know, I'm glad that we have reserves, and we need reserves, and I understand that, but by the same token, the money that those reserves made, I'm in favor of using those to pay people more money, improve equipment, do those kinds of things, at least until we get this county back on top of its feet here. So anyway, I'm not the brains, don't understand the process, but I do know that time is of the essence here. And if we're not sitting back here, if somebody's not sitting back here on Monday morning, and it has to be commissioners, meeting with Alan, making quick, tough decisions about what to do with this money while we're building a plan, I think is just unacceptable for me, so I will shut up.
I guess I need to comment on that, because if Trail West Bank has just bumped that up to 3%, is there a reason that we want to change the sweep account?
I think
The
the
amount in this-
conversation is bringing more in because they're offering 4.5% if we almost double it, right?
Well, the other day when we looked at it, we had 7 million in here, when you brought that report the other day, so it changes periodically.
Yeah.
So if you took that 7 million, it's $200,000 sweep, Mary and I talked about this yesterday, so it's huge, but I guess my thought on that, Dwayne, would be, is that we don't have $10 million to invest in the sweep account because it's all tied up with UBS and everything. Mary would have to go back through and look at the expiration dates and say, this one's kind of loose, we're gonna put it in 4.5 because we're not getting 4.5 at UBS. So then, could we go to Alan and say, as we grow this incrementally, will our interest rate increase? So if we pull that out and put it in here, now we're up to 6 or 8 million or whatever that number is. Will you honor that and grow our interest rate? Those, I think, are conversations that you guys could have with them. Of course, you know my position, I don't wanna get in the middle of that, but they did authorize me to speak on it today. So,
And I think that's great. They stepped up and
yeah, and they wanna be part of the community, and they always have been, I will just say that.
yeah.
And I think Wally brought up a good point. They pay taxes here, they employ people here, they do all those things. It's important that we, work together, and they were all apologetic when they figured out that 0.05%. And they said it got biased, and we will make sure that never happens again, so. But I think that, like Willie said, that one-on-one dialogue would be really good.
Yep.
And ask those tough questions. Because the sweep count varies so much that it's not always gonna have $10 million in it, so that's gonna have to be something that.
Some kind of floating scale where if it's at 8 million, then it's 3.6%. If it's at 9 million, it's 4. If it's at 10, it's 4.5.
Well, or if you hit a ceiling of 10, it's a 4.5 in a box, or something like that.
You know, the only thing I say, Dwayne, and I understand, there are some things already taking place that are really, really good, and I really appreciate that, but I don't think that Mary, I think, is really getting her head wrapped around this, but I don't think the rest of us know enough to say that, well, that's good enough for now. I think there's got to be another quick dialogue about everything else that's on the table here. And if there's something that we can do, as Kenneth pointed out, to open the negotiations and to talk about which one of these coming due and get these people involved, and that we're involved and you guys are involved, and we know where we're headed. And maybe there are some other decisions that need to be made, Monday, that are worth thousands of dollars. I mean, none of us know that sitting here right now. Mary probably has the best of all of us sitting here. She's looked at these, but I just think it's important, Dwayne, for the commissioners to engage quickly and begin to really fully understand what's here. I don't, and I think I've looked at it as much as anybody, so.
Well, I think we should definitely take advantage of the shorter term with what we can. And that could help build this.
Right.
I don't know
And-
how fast, but
Do something with Raymond James.
Yep.
You know,
we can pull that into
pull
there.
that, yeah, whenever that's, is there,
There are term limits on it. UBS, and we'd have to talk to Trail West, UBS can shift it into theirs with the same terms that they have with Raymond James.
Yeah, it's called a broker record letter, and
Yeah.
you just have to sign a letter that says you want that shifted from one to the other. And again, you'd have to talk to the bank about that and see if you shift it in there.
kind of like a
Try to help roll
401 if you move it, or, yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then, there's some things that need to be done, right now, Mary Yarnell was the contact person through December of last year, so right now, there's nobody to make those decisions, other than we authorized, or you guys authorized Mary. Neil Kirk last week to handle CDs only for a quick reference, but there's a lot of other decisions that I think we agreed, who did we say, you, and the commissioner, and who else, wasn't there three of them?
And Claudia.
Yeah.
Claudia.
So
Yeah.
right now,
And
Claudia's
three
the
people.
only signer on,
Yeah, and so I was thinking too, maybe there should be two commissioners.
I think.
If one's
think-
gone or sick, or, maybe there ought to be two.
Yeah, I think that's a good
So
idea.
have two and two.
And then you
so-
gotta define who can do what, because
Yeah.
according to what Wally informed us of a week ago, is you're the only ones that can make the decisions, make the changes. The only thing Mary can do is accept a CD rate that has to be done promptly.
correct.
So with that, there needs to be some documentation on that, so that everybody knows the rules of the game. UBS is gonna require that, I'm sure.
After Wednesday's conversation, it came back to me where this came from. I don't know if either were you commissioners when we converted to the GASB system, when the state did.
I think I was on the St. Regis School Board when they.
You remember it then?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Everybody
what,
loved it.
yeah, but it was a total pain in the derriere for all of us. But that's when this whole question first started of who controls it, who doesn't, where's it go, what happens. And I don't know what GASB we're on now then, but that was the conversion to GASB 3 and GASB 4. That was a long time ago, 20-some years ago. But that's when it started, so that's where this was. And I had to remember back that far and go, wait a second, where did this come from? Well, those are the rules that laid it out. And it's still there, and it's still the rules. So that's what did it. But I'm glad you did it then on the school board, because you would know what it was and what a pain in the neck it was at first, because nobody knew. And we got it defined better, so it's good.
There are also your articles of organization that we have to look at through the county, because that's gonna have some designations as well. We might have to update that. I think that, we'll just have to look
If
at,
Kellyanne have those on file?
she's looking for them.
Okay.
They're probably filed at the Office of Administration in Helena.
Okay, I'll call
They
them.
don't generally get filed at the Secretary of State's like a corporation. They're supposed to be filed at the Office of Public Administration in Helena.
Okay, perfect.
That's where
I'll
they
get a
should
hold of
be,
them.
and if they're not there, they're either, we may well be a legislative town. And there was some form that way. An act of the legislature formed the county or formed the town site itself and did it that way. So it's hard to tell if we were legislatively done, did we do it otherwise, because we were split off as Missoula County in 1914, but you'll find them. But they might be Office of Administration, and
Okay.
Helena may have them. And then they're not in the Secretary of State, and then probably there isn't a copy in the Clerk and Recorder's office. There should be, but there a lot of times isn't, because it's in Helena.
I know Mary Arnold had it, like years and years ago.
Okay.
But I rifled through all the files I could see yesterday and I couldn't find.
It'll be there.
But I think now we all kind of have a better basic understanding of how things roll.
Well, yeah, I think the important thing to note is that we found a whole bunch of money we didn't know we had.
Well, it's there, but we're using it.
Well, not at 3%, we weren't.
No, we weren't, correct.
And we didn't, and that money was available to us, we just didn't acknowledge it and go forward. So, you know, with that being said, when we talk about budgets, that's something to consider, where's that money gonna go down the road? We've already talked about a couple $100,000 just on this deal, plus we've got the Schedule A thing that we're talking about, which is extra money, plus the USB thing that we're talking about, plus the Raymond James. So if these things all come to fruition like we're talking and we're showing here, we should be able to calculate that dollar amount, knowing what our interest rates are, and know that we're gonna have X amount of dollars extra in the coffers at the end of the month. So the commissioners will know ahead of time on their budget, if they have an expenditure, how they're gonna deal with that. Does that make sense?
Yep. Does.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
So after the bank said that they missed this 0.05% interest rate and it won't happen again, did they already immediately change it now? What,
As of
and what did they
yesterday.
change it to?
Yesterday.
As of yesterday, to 3%.
So, and I don't think that's a fair statement saying the bank missed it.
No, I don't think
We
so
all
either, I
missed
was
it.
gonna comment on that.
We all missed it.
Exactly.
In days gone by, and I remember her pounding. I mean, it was,
And
it was,
again,
yes, it was a monthly thing, probably, that she went shopping for higher rates. And she would come in on when we had the Thursday meetings, she would come in and tell you what she found and what we wanted to do, but, you know, somewhere that has slipped by the
Well,
way.
I have to comment that I really like what you're doing now, and I compliment Mary on her report. Because
Yeah.
you guys need to see this,
Yep.
and that's why things don't slip through the cracks. is
Yep.
You guys get it front and center, but you have to make sure that these people bring that
Yeah.
information. But in all fairness to Mary, you've got to tell her what you want to.
Right.
Well, and like I said at our other little meeting, is we just have to work as a team for the betterment of the county, you know? And that's what we're here for, not one person in control.
Remember, I'm Longman's landlord too.
Oh, are you?
My parents before me,
Oh, yeah?
they rented that building for us for
Oh,
21
yeah.
years. A long time.
I'm a seen Tuesday.
I used it on them yesterday, big time.
Oh, yeah.
You good? Can I get back
He's
to
been
work?
out of state.
You got any more questions, Joe?
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
I
Thank
feel
you.
so
Really
much
appreciate
better
it.
Yes.
today
Good
than
job.
I did a week ago, I can tell you.
Me too.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
learned a lot in my first couple of weeks.
This is good.
You
Just
guys-
begun, right,
You're
Mary?
good on coffee.
Are you good? Okay, good.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Willie. All of you. This is
Thank you, Julia,
Awesome to
for your
watch.
efforts as well.
awesome to watch. This is how we should really conduct business.
You know, Mary hit the nail on the head, we all have to work together.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we have to be productive.
Yep.
Well, these arts business is done here.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks for coming
Thank you,
in.
Wally.
It's good. No, this is good. Keep it on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, I'll give Longsley all the time on Tuesday.
As much as you can.
Almost backed into you.
I do have a broken finger, but.
Oh, you do? What'd you do? It's like not a work comp thing, is it?
Yeah.
No big deal, it's,
Absolutely not, right, Wade?
At least it's your. You didn't file a report, did you?
I didn't. What's that?
At least it's your.
Yeah, it's not a good dad, right? I don't know how many broken fingers they got today.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys take care. Have a good day, Ken. Good to see you.
Oh, God, no.
Fingers are no.
That's not. No, I just.
It's coming. It's coming.
You figured out.
I think so.
All right.
The DOT and everybody in the district.
Tell Ann what all we have to do is correct it, so I can scratch me out. And I initial so that we want to send it up there and she can re-record it. This is our resolution where we name down the chair and it'll still show me on the document. Psyched it up.
Next week I'll have this set up before, because I didn't usually check it. My fault.
I wanted the easy stuff. Okay, you're gonna serve the joke? Meeting with Wally and, guidance will come in. Do that.
Next week, I want to give you a heads up.
Mary Miller.
I think it's now $2,000.
Oh, yeah, because we said,
So, I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
oh, well, I knew that we pushed him out, or pushed her out. The one with,
Have you ever had an opportunity to talk
she
with
said,
the Forest Service?
well,
Yeah.
her,
What did she say?
I got a good reception.
That's,
code that says she has to make as much as
that's great research for them. Every time she does, they love this idea.
Don was gonna experiment it.
Well,
Actually,
and
I don't have a
What we're
problem.
trying to figure out now is from the freeway this way, how wide is that right of way that we have to help?
And I told her that.
I know we budgeted the treasurer's office for sure, about the beach, but I mean, it's in the budget.
Which
Already,
one are we talking about? Which road?
Past where you are.
I talked about done it, they passed unless somebody was a real pain in the ass.
Oh, we're talking about the freeway.
Know their
Right.
job
Yes.
yet, it was
No, it is.
conversational.
Everybody thinks the fence is the right way. It's not.
No, it's not, right away.
I mean, to me, that's
further.
Yes.
And if that's the case, we have enough room.
It is.
Yeah,
That's what we're
Jesus.
I already know.
Well,
Really?
Well, you,
I mean,
No.
No, I'm 100% with you. I mean,
and it's an add-on that some
People,
people
I
get
know
it
how it is.
automatically, and some
Okay,
we,
I know how they did
dicker
this.
with,
This
but-
is weird.
I think we should pick our
Okay.
dignity battles carefully.
Yeah.
Took the
Like
property.
if it was
away
somebody
from
that didn't get along with us, or was being demanding, or didn't know the job.
Now,
Personally,
what
I feel-
how they got that is that was the railroad. right?
personally,
Right, and they can do that.
And you condemned them, that's how they got their additional property. Now, they tried the same thing down there, but,
I don't think that's a discussion.
believe it or not,
So you're the chair now,
Well,
do you wanna put it on the
I guess-
agenda for next week? I think that's
actually,
what
you
he
really
did.
didn't have to.
Well, he said Mary.
Because what you did is you got changed into what is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I thought she did already this
Which
week.
it had a
No.
change right.
Oh, she did.
There's a lot of right away down there,
But that's what I'm saying, now he's the chair,
A lot of these places.
he can just go ahead and say, yeah,
along
put
the
it on
road
there, sure.
Yeah.
You know, so Darren doesn't have to worry about holding up or not.
No,
Well, that's why this one.
Well, I don't know that we have to.
Buy the right of way.
well,
Yes,
she's
there's-
gotta fill out the
no,
form.
it's all, I knew how this worked.
But she's going to.
Okay.
She's just, you know.
And the money.
But she would have done it, she would have done it this week, but the chair said no,
Yes.
so I'm saying Wayne is the chair this week, so he can say yes or no. The chair controls the agenda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was letting you know, but I
No,
Yeah.
I know how this
I
works, but I
would
don't
hope
know
to hell,
where
other
to
than
find
Chief
it.
Select's view, that we ever rejected.
It probably did.
Right.
Ellen is.
Or put some.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Just what
Yeah,
I did
all
see,
right.
I don't have-
Yeah, all right. I was gonna say more like this.
Yeah, and, you know,
Right?
we should discuss it,
The railroad.
yeah.
Well, that's why,
Before it's printed out there.
when you get, yeah, when you get.
Whoever the chair is,
I send
you
you,
should do,
I
yeah.
send the agenda to you guys before.
Yeah.
Before you
But
did,
we
yeah.
should, yeah.
And then someone could say, what is this, or add language to it, that isn't clear enough. So I've got, when I was chair, I had to do that because it might just say,
That's the.
meeting with UBS.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what's UBS, what is it about? So then I'd have Renee change, meeting with UBS investment company about CDs, then people know. So yeah, before you send out the final agenda, always have the chair say, looks good to go.
I send it to all
Coffee
three.
stains.
No, yeah, send to all three.
And then we can back.
Yeah, because then we can all comment.
My dad tried, but
Ultimately,
he,
the chair makes the
final.
Yeah.
You know, and I tried.
And hopefully Dawn isn't gonna be power controlled, she'd like to say
Well,
reject.
let me get back to that.
Because then that makes it look like
Good
we're
to
not
see you,
saying.
I'll let you know.
No, I don't want you to be on the agenda, it's like.
Yeah, I don't think it was that, I just think.
Now, remember, you're not a plumber.
So Wally, does, Dwayne said that Jamie, or somebody said that there's this law that the justice court judge cannot make less than the clerk of district court.
That's right.
You have that law,
Yeah, I
right?
gave it to Don the other day.
Oh, you did?
I gave him back a letter. It's a statute that says may not, but here's the deal. I figured something out. This is weird. I don't know why, but a couple of years ago, the commissioners gave Jamie, Talbot, $2,000 a year more. And when they did that, they also upped the justice of the peace's salary. So they're the same. So there is no reason to raise the JP salary, because the JP makes 51,208.47 or something, and so does Jamie Talbot. So they're the same. So it doesn't say it has to be more, it just says it may not be less. And it's not less, I think. So I think it became a moot issue when we realized that what they'd done is they had raised Jamie Talbot's, and then without telling anybody, they actually raised the JP salary to be the same, but I don't think the commissioners really knew that that
No,
happened.
wow.
So they got,
With or without the $2,000 add-on, they're the same?
they're the same, with the $2,000 add-on, they had raised that one to be the same, they're the same.
Okay.
So I had a really interesting time, because it was hard to run the pieces of the puzzle down.
Mm-hmm.
And Don was doing this on, what day was it we had those salary sheets? That was Wednesday, wasn't it? I think it was Wednesday. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So anyway, we found it, so that's what we got.
So, if you go back to your office, would you be able to send me again those 7 codes that say that the elected officials are officers that the commissioners can
Yes.
control?
Yes, yeah.
I'd like to see that again. I thought maybe.
Yeah, you have a copy, it's on the back of my letter sheet. I always put them on the back of letters. How was the trip? Good?
Yeah,
I thought you would be in Helena today, I wasn't sure.
no, I go to Helena next time on February, February 20.
Well, you're not
19,
even
20.
stuck in the session at all, eh?
I went to the session once, but then when I was gone in DC, Chilcott and McGinley went up on the hill, so I haven't been called back since then.
Good. I'll write you another copy of it. I cannot remember, Dwayne, what GASB stood for.
General accounting practices,
Okay,
yeah,
I know it was 2000 that it came out,
yeah.
and boy, it raised hell everywhere.
Oh, I know they hated it down
It was
there.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a mess. But that's where all this stuff came from, and I could not remember it. I thought of it finally yesterday morning when I was at the second culinary homicidologist doing that. They figured out what it is.
You're old?
Oh, did you hear this? Did you were on stereo? No. What it is they now have a name for it. It's called chronic ventilator pneumonia syndrome.
Wow, get away from me then.
Got a name.
Or is it
The COVID
contagious?
stuff. What?
Is it contagious?
No, it's pneumonia, but you get it when they ventilate you because they cut your lungs all up with the tube when they're in a big hurry. And so that's how it gets in there. So when
Did
they,
they ventilate?
20 years ago, they ventilated me when I hit my head. And that's why this has been a problem. for
Is
a
that
long
what's wrong
time.
with you?
That's what's wrong.
No, I mean, you hit your head.
They wrote my obituary.
Good shit.
Who's
Actually-
they? Who's they?
McGinley wrote it.
Oh, wow.
This is no kidding.
Oh, was it very flattering?
I know. I got a copy of it hidden.
You didn't read it? Couldn't bear to read it?
No, I didn't want to read it. No, they did write my obituary. I didn't.
Yeah, I can't find it, so if it's easy,
I'll
I'll
get
get
it. No, it's easy. I can get it.
Okay.
No problem.
Anyone else?
I'm easy. things seem a little more peaceful now than they were. It's kind of settled down some in the last week, a little bit.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah, I guess that, yeah,
I can get that in about 5 minutes to bring back.
okay.
I can't remember what else is on the agenda first thing here.
Road report from, this says road report and water compact update. Road update and water compact update
Yeah, okay,
at 10:05.
that's all 10, okay.
10:05.
Okay. Yeah, I got one thing on the roads, is just there, Sarah Road and the other on the water.
So I talked to Jim Loman the other day, Wally,
Yeah.
and he'd been sick for last month or better.
Mm-hmm.
And same deal, back and coughing. And
Yeah,
he said they pumped every antibiotic into him that's imaginable. And finally they sent some kind of sample back to the Mayo Clinic. They had some kind of fungus.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, he said, had no idea where it come from. He said it could come from hay, it could have come from wood.
Really?
You know, who knows? But yeah, it was a fungus. It wasn't
Huh.
any viral.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they get
That
rid
kind
of it then?
Yeah, yeah. He was, the last time I was to a conservation district meeting, he couldn't hardly talk. I mean, he was.
Really? Wow,
It hurt you to listen to him, you know.
wow.
And, yeah, he was, in fact, I think he was pulled up for months, probably.
That just worries me about the mill, all that combustible dust. that I
Oh,
breathed
yeah.
For
How
20
much of
years.
that shit did we eat?
Oh, I ate tons of it.
And then who knows
And I
what
was
else?
right, I was right in
Yeah.
the heart of it.
Yeah, and who knows what else,
Yeah,
Jared?
unfortunately, that's
Remember,
true.
remember when we had the big meeting and we got called in there about the chemicals
The
they were
chemical
treating
they were
that?
treating the wood with for the
Yeah,
mold,
yeah, the
they said,
pine,
oh, it's
yeah,
not toxic,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
got a
Remember-
dying fish on the cover.
Yeah, remember, wasn't it Clark Stevens? Well, not Clark, one of the Stevenses,
Paul, maybe?
Paul maybe?
Might have been
Stood
Paul.
up and said, oh, bullshit, it's got the.
That was
yeah.
Paul.
Remember, they
That was
pulled,
Paul.
right immediately, it shut that meeting down and they pulled him aside.
Yeah, that's
They were
right.
over there
And
chewing
then-
his ass.
Really?
Well, that's the thing, he got on their bad side, and it wasn't too long after that was when they got rid of him. I mean,
So what were they doing, spraying it on logs? to
Yeah, they
prevent
were,
stain? To
so they
stop
had
roost-
big account with China,
Yeah,
and they were buying all the dead pine and everywhere, I mean, eastern Montana and everywhere, and they were shipping it over here, rail cars, and it was all dead pine.
yeah,
Well, the contract didn't say anything about dry killing it, and then they had some of it that had mold on it, and they started treating it with a dip tank.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
well, what had happened was, we were cutting it, not drying it, and shipping it to the harbors over in Seattle. Well, it would sit there for like 3 weeks. And
or, yeah, who
Or
knows?
longer.
Yeah,
And it would just sit in them ships and
and
mold.
that's
and
finally
mold
what
and mold.
did them in on that contract, was they
Yeah.
shipped it to China, and China rejected it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I wouldn't
So there was a
build
big
doghouse.
lawsuit.
I wouldn't build a doghouse with that wood anyways, but.
Poor quality or what?
Oh, it was dead pine,
Dead
I mean,
old pine.
yeah, and I mean, just nasty,
It was all cut to
every piece of
specific
shit
dimensions.
pine that,
It was metric dimensions, not
Yeah.
inches.
Where's that,
Yeah.
thing that we initialed for Callahan, that, resolution change?
I don't know. It was on hard paper, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought I put it,
What's the resolution
back.
you got?
Oh, is it here?
maybe,
No. These are the,
Is that one there?
oh, yeah, right in front of me. Thank you, sir. I'm blind.
you are.
You got your right heels on today.
Ah, you like these ones?
I won't wear it, because all mine are cut heels big time. I don't wear cowboy boots and I cut heels, I hate them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the fact you got cut heels today is like, yes, good man.
Yeah, I can still walk, and when I get maybe a little older, I might have to wear my ropers.
If I ain't got cut heels.
Did you, hear anything from Dawn?
From,
Dawn?
no, not today. Yesterday she was good.
Oh,
She was
she,
at St. Pat's when I was.
oh, you were in there too?
Yeah, we'll see, we're trying to figure out what this crap is, like, because I've been carrying this for
Yeah, I know, you,
I'm just under like a frog, and I just decided I need to
Kinda
get
looks
this
like one.
done. I know, but I said I just had had enough. Man, it was good to go do it, though. I was glad I did that yesterday. It was well. It was quite good.
Well, this must be,
Friends.
this must be.
I don't sound like a toad now.
Gotta shave, jeez.
Hmm?
I said I gotta shave, man,
You should, man.
scruffy.
Yeah.
Dwayne remembers that gigantic beard I used to have.
Really?
I had a huge beard.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I look good, I just.
Did you know Randy Raskovich? Wally?
I know that name, yeah.
Yeah. He just passed away. Tuesday, was it, Dwayne, right?
Yeah,
He was my.
he used to be a boss out at the mill.
What did he have?
Don't
Well,
know.
they said it was sudden.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think everybody's assuming heart attack. I think. Yeah, that stinks. That's sad.
He brought me back some of that Minnesota beer one time.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, I pulled his pickup, something happened to his pickup, I don't remember if it was the transmission or if it was the injectors.
There's a million cars here.
And I pulled him and his pickup from his house up there out to when George Matfeld had it.
You're not in it.
And dumped him out. Oh God, he was grateful. And he said, "I'll bring you some good beer." And by God, he did. He brought me a case of that. That was the best beer I ever.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And I'm not real wild about beer, but boy, it was good.
I used to
Good.
love it. I
Morning.
used to
Morning.
love it when you'd go and bring all that walleye back and fry it up.
Yeah, I never had any of that.
Oh, man. God, he treated us good, but he
I like-
had
I like
them
when
dogs.
I like when we ate down.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Good, man. How are you?
Cold. I put my cold hand on the back of Wally's neck, and it's, I mean, I should wear gloves, but I'm not very smart.
Yeah, it's chilly.
Yeah, but it feels like spring.
I know. I hope we're almost done with it. I'd be great.
I know it would, wouldn't
Maybe
it?
not.
Although the skiers are not saying that.
Yeah, well, I don't have any choice. If I had snowmobiles and stuff,
It would be a different story, yeah.
Like, bring on the snow, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, so.
I just wish the roads were better, but you know, with black ice and thawing and stuff,
We've been
better ways.
fairly lucky, though. Haven't got a whole lot of frozen rain this year, so.
Not
Not a
lately.
lot.
A week or so ago, there was
Well,
some early in the morning.
For a couple of years ago, I remember, geez, just like every morning we woke up, there was 15 crashes on the
I
interstate.
know it, I know. It's a bad stretch.
Yes, ma'am.
If you miss it, you're welcome to come visit the West End any given night. I'm just saying.
I know.
Because all it has to do is pretend like it's gonna snow and it's like a disaster up there.
I know it, I know.
Yeah, but it's serious up there. When it snows up there, you
Yeah.
get 4 foot.
Yeah, but it
Well,
doesn't even
change
have to
required, I've
snow
seen
for
that
it
a lot.
to, for everything to get screwy Louie.
Yeah.
It's usually that
Everybody
5
panics.
to 8 a.m. when they just don't think about the ice that builds up from the river being right there.
Well, also the thawing on the side hills with the warm days, and then when the temperature drops at night with that water on the road, it's just like,
Yep,
Yes.
we've got a couple spots that I just can't understand why they haven't fixed it yet, because we get just massive water across the road.
I know what you
Henderson.
mean, yeah.
Right there at the, just east of Henderson on that corner. It's like,
If you don't know it's there, yeah. So where do you,
Exactly.
where do you live, what part?
we live in DeBorgia.
DeBorgia, okay.
Yeah. Been up there about 5 years.
Okay,
I love it.
yeah. It's
Clayton
nice.
finally got a snowplow this year.
That's handy
That
up
helps a
there.
lot.
We had an ATV with a plow on it, and we did that, and last year it got tough. And then this year he broke the
I
transmission
know,
belt.
he was telling me.
It snows so
See,
much
I think
up
my
there.
uncle did the same thing with his side-by-side, his John Deere.
That's what this was, is it's an Arctic Cat side by side.
Yeah, yeah, and it sounds like the same problem, because he hit the snow hard, and he was pushing a lot, and all of a sudden it started making a.
Oh no, he went to the post office when this broke. He was just riding down to the post office and back when
Yeah.
he gave out, but,
The snow's probably what did it though.
Yeah,
Pushing,
yeah.
pushing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much, so I quit
we
using mine
shouldn't
for
have any more big snows for the rest of the year, because Clayton got a brand
I
new
know
Boss
it.
snowplow. So
I've
it
gotten
will
it stuck
snow.
twice already.
It'll ice and
Got it
it'll
stuck twice?
freeze, but
What?
it's not, he's got it stuck.
stuck twice.
Yes, I've had to pull him out. I'm just here for the laughs and talk.
You should have put that out, you should have filmed that.
I do have photos of it, including him falling down in the snow yesterday.
I was wondering if you got that.
Oh, yes, I did.
When I got stuck, I tried to get out, I almost had to climb out the window because I couldn't get that door open.
Oh, the joys of snow.
And
I
that's
love
why
it.
you need chains on your vehicle
Yes.
to plow.
Yeah. Especially if I'm gonna be stupid and try to go deeper.
Deep unplowed snow, yeah.
What's underneath that snow, because I forgot that those snows were there. And that's, I thought I'd push snow.
Stop doing it, don't do it, Tom. Okay? Hey, Wally, so on that lung issue you got going, did they classify that as a chronic pulmonary disease?
No, it's basically, chronic ventilator, pneumonia syndrome.
So it imitates pneumonia without actually being an infection?
It's the infection of pneumonia, but ventilators do it too.
So is it bacterial caused?
Bacterial and the viral gets into it, but COVID can get into it. That's why all the people on ventilators died of COVID. Because when they ventilate you, they're in a hurry because they wait till the very damn end. When it's too close to your eyes or whatever else, so they're in a big hurry to do it. When they ventilate you, they cut it all up in there, and that opens a port for stuff to get into the rest of your system. So COVID goes into those little cuts and scratches into your system and attacks your organs. That's why we did it with COVID. This term didn't exist 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's the new description.
They also, I know with like cardiac patients, when you have an open heart surgery, they now have protocol where they test you for MRSA in your nose.
That's right.
Because they ventilate you and the last thing they want to do is shove MRSA into your lungs.
Or show it into the cuts in your lungs, they put in the system and get it into your body. That's the whole thing.
It killed me.
Yeah.
I was in ICU and everything.
It just took 20 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I was just curious if they call it a COPD now since it is a chronic
It's called
disease.
chronic, it's called chronic ventilator, pneumonia syndrome. That's what it's called. That's the new term.
Do they have what they really treatments now? Are they going to,
They have a variety of them. The biggest question is whether or not you have, if it's walled itself off,
Hi, Andy, that was
so it's
perfect.
become
You know what
an
that's
And you got
about
that,
the
email that we're meeting.
contract that he wrote.
you know my history in medical.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
That gal that called for a plan.
that's why I was asking
It's
questions.
been bizarre to go
No, you probably
through
did.
this long as
Okay.
You probably did.
And that's when you people that are
That's
writing
when you
grant.
really, that's when you really need it.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's only scheduled for an hour, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, we're
It
working
would be really helpful. And also,
So when we get a copy, when
can
you
you
send it,
I will, for sure.
and I forward it to her,
make
Yeah.
a
So,
map
they want a
that-
copy of it.
Darren.
Somebody will-
Yes, ma'am.
Just a
It wouldn't have to
quick
be all one
note,
map,
when they start to go to video,
Okay. I know, I know.
if they put a
We've had
microphone
these
on the
emails,
podium,
contract.
And say,
don't connect it
To that?
to that, because the actual microphone is more to amplify for people.
Make sure we're.
You're wanting to amplify, a microphone
Is that it?
recording so everybody else in the room can hear the. So if you amplify the sound in the room, you're gonna catch it just as good up there.
That's what it is.
Otherwise, if you hook your microphone directly from there
Well, what we need is.
to there, now it's gonna say, oh, the microphone's first, and not your commissioners.
All right.
So, just a little tip on that, it's part of my.
That works good. I mean, I catch everything, but it's really quiet. I just figured out how to use it yesterday. I didn't even.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have decided if you're gonna go webcam to record or standing video. This is, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not the way to go.
Yeah, no,
These
there's,
make massive files. 3 hours of video is 60 gigabytes. It's a lot of material to work with.
they have someone sent me,
So, I mean, so I put things on
I
the
handed it in
now.
the commissioners, we already.
A lot of them are using OWL, which means if you are able to use a microphone in the room, then your owl's gonna pick up everybody in the room really well.
All right, we'll start our meeting. Roman, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance, please?
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, it's 10:08, and we have Mr. Wally Cogden giving us a road update.
And I'll be quick.
And water compact update.
So the water compact comments, the first ones went out in the mail yesterday. You had signed them all. Sanders County has signed as well. We finished their forms, so they're in the mail starting today too. So that is good. I got a copy of the big set from private people over at Lake County in the mail this morning. We'll see what they said one way or the other way, but that's okay. So they're in the process, so that's good. The road thing, I had a meeting scheduled Wednesday over Sierra Mountain Road with the lawyers for the parties, the other parties, and with the other parties, and they backed out Tuesday afternoon at about 4 o'clock. And said they didn't want to meet yet, why don't we get them a list of the stuff we could or might do, whatever else. And I said, well, if they don't want to meet, why don't we give us two choices? I can get you a list and get back to me, or I can send you a summons and a complaint. They said, please don't send the summons, let's do the rest. So I wrote the letter yesterday to them to get them a list of the things we can do with the road, so it's not such a nuisance for them, et cetera, including dust, garbage, stay on the right of way, et cetera. So I'll get that to you probably Tuesday or Monday. And take a look and see if it looks okay, then we'll get it off to them to try to go from there. And if we don't get an answer by February 1st, I told them, then we have no choice but to bring a summons and complaint, and then clear the title of the road that way. So that's where it sits, so that's the latest update. But I was disappointed that they first didn't want to meet with the commissioners. Then instead of doing it here, I said, we'll do it in the law office, it's the lawyers, and that's okay. And then they didn't want to do that either. So that was a surprise, they backed out of doing that as well, but that's where it sits. Okay, so that's what I know. Hope that helps.
That's where it sits. What did they talk about? Anything?
No, not yet. They want the letter first, and then go from there. Got it.
Boy, that was quick.
Yeah, it is quick for me.
Well, that ain't all of it. Now you gotta tell us about the road, the water, you did say the water compact.
Yeah, I said that first.
Okay, man, that was quick.
Yes, I know. Because you're behind schedule, now you're 2 minutes ahead.
Yeah.
I changed your whole day around.
That's good, because we were a couple of minutes late starting.
You got it.
Yeah.
So Townsend, do they still have the same attorneys, the road people that they had before, or is it a different set?
Yeah, what happened is they made reef spoons, they named that firm, so it's Lance Jasper's firm. But the gal who's doing it is a gal who used to work for a different law firm in Missoula who does land stuff. I've known her a long time, and so she's who's doing it. So that's where it's in. Tom Orr, who was doing it, is not doing it.
Okay.
They switched firms, so that's where it is.
All right.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
I struggle with this not button to turn on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Batteries.
When in doubt, check the batteries.
It's it's plug-in charge, but I don't think it has batteries. It's got to be rechargeable like a cell phone. Shoot.
You got the charger, can you run the charger while you're using it?
It's about that, because it was too
Yeah,
fast.
but I think it has to be hooked into your computer to charge it. It was charged.
I got a computer.
Is it a USB?
Yeah,
You can usually
yeah.
plug those in just like doing your phone
Let's try it.
to a square box.
Let's try it. Okay.
Yeah.
Here. You should be able to plug it right into that.
Oh, you can plug that right in. Plug it into it.
Yeah, or
Whatever you wanna do.
I think we should try this maybe, just see if we can get it to work. I know it's charged.
Robin, I have a question.
Oops.
Can we talk now to other people? My agenda item's not until 10:30. And
Right.
Wally's done, so can we
Nope.
have talk?
Been a long-standing tradition that we don't change the times of.
I know, no, I
No, she
know
meant
that.
visit amongst themselves.
Oh, yeah, you can visit, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
you're done with that, okay.
Yep. Oh, I didn't. There we go.
Oh, thanks, okay. So does it sound like they want to negotiate?
I think it's required.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You're still feeling good about the right away and all?
I like the fact that it's there, I don't like the fact that they sat on the sign so long before we did something with it. But we had to open the right.
It's recording, I don't know if it's in the right format or what, but it's recording, so.
So no more, so no jokes just yet.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think it's working, it's recording, so.
Yeah, if I could put something Mineral Co on my computer,
For some reason, yesterday, I had it, that's brand new to me. I had it working yesterday, but I had it plugged into the computer. So I pulled it out, that's working, I'm like, okay, sweet, so I brought it down here. It wasn't plugged into the computer. So I guess you have to plug it in before you turn it on, and then it will. Yeah, I know, tech is great.
Downfall of civilization.
Thanks again.
Lot things. And he said, well, yeah, I kind of did.
It'll be interesting.
He'll be a friendly one, we can sway him, I know, his land borders aren't.
So we get the letter.
That was put in there for
That if not, if they're really gracious, then some of us put up here.
Oh, no, I phrased it the way I did. I wouldn't do it. You said, the bank
I was just
said,
thinking,
missed that.
wetlands with his own.
When you kind of said, well, hey, wait, I was just rephrasing him.
I won't interrupt anymore.
Well, I'd say Mary on now.
Yeah.
Because we never had an update from her the entire time she was here.
So anyway, yeah, I'll go ahead and, I think what the engineering people are looking at, and it's interesting, I don't know if I told you, the same engineering company that did the engineering.
Yeah.
And what he
Which is nice, because he,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So, just so we can share with Jacqueline, you know her, Jacqueline Smith? She was with the Department of Transportation.
And you don't want to be too
Anyway,
hasty
she
to
lives
roll
in
some
the
money,
spot.
because if they don't raise the debt,
So
so
we
the interest rates
can
will
show
go
them.
Yeah.
And
Who
you'll,
knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of gave us a report of that.
Or more than one route, maybe.
He goes,
Yeah,
these
so are you just looking for
He
something
goes,
as
we don't things to start
Kind
picking up.
of, yeah, yeah.
Or you want
By the end of this
24 by
quarter,
36
the end of the next quarter,
size?
things are gonna get better, and if they're gonna get worse, they're gonna.
Sorry.
Settle down.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because if they should,
Could
they stay well on that, and let things go down, could be an accident right there, but.
Yeah, that would be wonderful, and then we can.
Yeah. No, unless you wanna come down and talk to him.
no. And like I said, I don't want to do anything without taking this license, really. I mean, I would recommend more than anybody.
I don't, and I didn't even see Mary's.
Yeah, just look at it and then let me know.
Well, like Mary said, just
Easily.
put a little bit more in the account, because then it's still kind of liquidable where you can move it around, lock everything into something. Back out of. If you're getting 3.5% now, that's better than most of the things.
When our part of the term.
We did, and we got it with the
Right,
price.
they are also talking about that section near Albertson.
We'll be in the
Okay,
wild
so, yeah, if I can just get that correspond.
Before, we can have a what?
Before we.
Show you that's that.
Oh, yeah.
The term.
The north freeway, and also I can just hear,
Because of that conversation,
because I have to
Dave,
keep
he would go.
so I can see show them where we're
So we get-
Yeah.
It's done.
I don't
So
know.
that's, so the day, because me and you talked about this, where we didn't want there to be a
Okay, so.
forum, because then everybody decides just whether Ken could be there, everybody could sit it, whoever
But
wanted.
anyway, it's one section, the other side is Sears.
So that's why I said I won't even call in until we were talking about the
That's
forum.
where the trail.
Somebody said that Dawn, I think, shut down.
Okay.
So,
Why don't you do that?
Cause you wanna.
check this out.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
Here's that.
Well, no, I'm just wondering.
We're reviewing
Um,
what commissioners
It just wasn't noticed that there would be a quorum of commissioners.
It's in our,
Yeah, but whenever we meet,
everything else in white is private.
Okay, so here's the trail, it
yeah,
comes right
I
along
just thought
up
she'd be
here,
more worried about
water service, and
just
then,
for somebody
well, it
suing.
comes from the gravel pit or something.
Yeah, by,
And then it comes from
I mean, that's
the
why I
gravel pit, and it
specifically
comes up
didn't call
here.
in or come
I'll go
down.
get that and be right back.
All right.
Corner, private
Thought that that would
property,
be
that
a hang up
they
or
have
something.
denied access.
I guess if nobody knows.
Otherwise, we could run it all the way
Yeah.
to Sear, we could run them off to Sear, all the way to Superior with our new piece. DNR piece, DNRC piece that gets off.
Juan's here.
So we can keep them off the freeway all the way,
Well, I just wondered if.
except to try to constrain state reaches.
No, that's supposed to be like that. I don't know. Because then your alternative would be take each person and give them a presentation, I don't, or do it during.
Yeah. Don't you?
Sure, did you put it up?
No, it's been here for eternity.
I'll bring it
And I
back,
can- and I can
so
read-
I'll get in trouble.
I can reproduce it, you know.
Yeah, okay, we do use it for meetings, that would be great.
The safety or three.
And then, do you have this on your,
Yeah.
would you have to send it to Jacqueline
I
Smith?
mean, that's the alternative. I don't think, unless she was in it.
Yeah.
She's the only one I would trust.
Right.
So we're doing this on
Well, this-
Zoom, which is hard too.
Where is he?
Yeah, I mean, we have all of them digitally. But I think this is more service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're ever, like if you were never before, there's the file path.
Usually
So you can be
long-winded.
like, hey, can you give me a copy of this?
Oh, okay, okay. So I could probably call them and then they have it digitized and they can send it to Jacqueline Smith for me.
Yeah.
So we have it for Monday's meeting.
See,
And
Darren,
then she can share it with the
at
rest.
some point,
Well,
that's
we can share it
Stephanie
with
Todd,
everybody,
that's the
Although
administrative
it won't be
assistant
very
for
big for
the
them to see,
conservation district.
Yeah,
At
She
least,
may
Maps-
come over
maps
and
are-
hang a
it just depends on who's
agenda
hosting
in
it,
that window alongside of ours.
what they're
Okay,
capable of,
that's-
if they can
that's
share
fine.
the
Just
screen
keep
and
unlocking it for her.
map in and out, right? Like-
and I think that they could do
I don't know
that,
what
yeah.
he's at.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got the capacity. Perfect, so I will
I don't know
contact
if
the
they
Forest
will or not.
Service, ask them to
We were
send
just
this off
talking
to
about where
her.
they hang them and
Then she'll
what
have
they
a
do
good
with
meeting,
them.
right?
Yeah, you
I
might
had a
even want to
question
down
for
there.
Dawn.
Okay, I can do
And
that.
just be
No, I
like,
don't know.
hey,
So,
I've got this
all
map.
the mail that I get for you guys comes from the clerk, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you mean that
Digital
Yeah.
files.
Snail mail? Paper
And then
mail?
like the newspaper and all that.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
I'll
too.
Oh,
get
okay.
I'm gonna run to the office.
All right.
Actually, right now, because I
Yeah,
I
they
came
used, they
yesterday.
keep it in that slot, so
Yeah,
when you
the
look at all
commissioners,
the
that's
mail,
all the mail that I need to read.
she would put it in that slot if there was an email.
Okay, I got the paper, I'll bring it.
Oh, great, great.
Sorry.
I'm expecting a great big check, so. He didn't hear me.
You guys have rubber bands up there?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, here's one right here.
Oh, I thought maybe there was some in this thing.
Maybe there is.
Boy, this is a big one.
Is there smaller ones than that?
No, there's none in there. There's a smaller one, no?
Hey,
That might be, oh, that's a paper clip. I need new glasses.
that's mine.
That's yours.
That's mine.
Is this too big or I can go get
That's what
another
he's
one?
talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, last Friday it came with Friday mail, it came with yesterday's
Oh,
mail.
thank you, thank you.
Shoot, sorry about that again.
Yeah, so he,
Well, he's just saying, when that one was done a while ago.
Yes.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's the.
yeah.
We can get bathrooms if we
And-
have.
But he was encouraging that method. There's only certain times of the month, oh, even the Forest Service is doing it on their scheduled allotted time, yeah.
Through them.
For 3 years.
The quicker we pay, the faster we get our money back,
Yeah.
I see.
is what
And
he
they
What's
said.
his name?
His name is Thomas Lane.
Talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
She was in Florida, remember, yeah.
No.
Yeah, so,
You're making connections.
yeah, we had a great meeting here.
Uniform allowance?
Oh, Dwayne, would you even wear it? You're an old logger. I've never seen a logger.
I would, yeah.
She's the unit manager.
The uniform would include Romeos. Would you wear the Romeo?
I would.
Yeah. she's
I've got a
really
brand new
something.
pair under my bed that I don't hardly ever wear.
Really? Are they leather ones?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
They're the good old
Plan,
ones.
Mhm.
use license. And in the meantime, during that 2-year period, we'll be working on a permanent easement through there from DRC.
Well, my left ankle, you know, I
So
told
that
you,
was
it's
part of
used,
it, like 2 miles.
I have trouble,
of the-
if I do much walking in anything, I
Great
gotta
American Rail Trail.
pull an insert out that I've got in
But
my
it allows
shoes
for
right now.
avoiding that last
put in
narrow
there
bridge
so
and keeping our people off.
back and
keeping
my
people
ankle
off
don't get to
freeway
bothering me too
all the
much.
way from Cedar to Superior.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. Made it through the first week, or second, is this first or second?
Well, it's pretty much one full week. but
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Almost, still have today to go.
yeah. I guess a lot can happen in a few hours.
I'm Andy, I don't, we haven't met you.
I'm Darren Castor.
Nice to meet you, Darren.
New HR assistant.
Yeah, I saw your name on the thing, yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Welcome aboard, yeah, nice to meet you. Something, I'll bring up there on you. Yeah, actually, so, through our floodplain mapping of your floodplain, county, that project's been going on for a long time. Part of that, the, haven't failed to GS, you need a LiDAR or LiDAR. So they basically map with lasers, so they just fly over it, map the surface. And through our project, we have that done. So the entire, state range flight work. And it's, super accurate, it's like the surveyors that you can design with.
Wow.
And so, how many engineers are, anybody needs to do design,
Every county pays dues, yes.
How much?
they can,
It's based on your population and the size of your county?
Kind of like the NACO setup.
Yeah, and I don't remember what we pay, but I know
It's not
that
as much as NACO, though, is it? Or-
the main one that supports
Yeah, we got that.
NACO is
So,
Yellowstone, Missoula, Cascade, and
It is- it was a
Clark County. The
nine.
big four,
Mhm.
they pay the majority.
yeah, I'll show it to you.
Well, it should be, yeah.
And,
I know through St. Regis it will be, right?
I don't know, for some reason I wanna say we pay something like 3,000 to 4,000.
And see, through St. Regis, we're looking at two different routes. One is, I think I told you, connecting.
Oh, I don't know.
Seemed like-
Maybe we pay more to make
Around
it too,
the
but
other end, too.
Yeah, I didn't, I couldn't remember.
was that question fielded to you also?
Yeah,
Well, there was some,
whether it was worth.
oh, well, I know that in the state of Oregon, there's like, there's a county
They
that
just
does
changed the
not, because they don't think it's worth it. What do you mean do?
That was not taken down.
Yeah, right.
They
So
don't
can
think
we
it's worth
talk
it,
about it?
but then when all this ARPA money and COVID money and that came along,
Resource?
Yeah.
NACO and NACO were critical in
Right
getting
there.
those for the counties. And then they started needing them real bad, because they needed to know how to get it, and how to manage it, and where it could go. So, I mean, we got that kind of money, and they helped us
Yeah.
acquire it, so why
And I
don't
did talk
we look
to
against horse in the mouth,
Clark
you know?
about the idea of maybe trying to-
I mean, and then they have people going there on our behalf, you know, federal level to
We'll look at. we'll
reforest the
start talking more
county
about it.
and oil and gas. I mean, you're sitting on the sidelines, but you
Yeah.
might miss the boat on getting the help you need too.
Well, I think his question was more.
With what? The legal, like defending us on,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, it's 10:30, and next item on the agenda is request for a letter of support on behalf of Rails and Trails. Action item, Diane McGowan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am the chair of the Mineral County, Montana Rails to Trails group, and I don't know how much I've told you about the DNRC section that we're working on out by Tarkio. So if I repeat myself, let me know. Anyway, we've been working with Amy Helena to get a land use license for the next 2 years, and then working towards a permanent easement through there. And you know where it's at, Roman. It parallels the freeway, and it allows bicyclists, hikers, whoever, non-motorized traffic, to come off the road, the freeway at Sear, follow along the old Highway 10, cross the scenic bridge, come back under the freeway, and then come all the way to Tarkio. And that allows them to miss all those really narrow westbound bridges. So that's what this project is. We're writing a grant. We've got Liz Gupton working with us for the new construction. Thank heavens, I know nothing about construction. She and Amy are working together, Amy Helena, to get that going. And Amy's giving us a letter of intent for that that land use license / eventually easement. And then we're also, down at the bottom of that section of land is the Austin piece of the old railroad. So we'll be doing a loop down, there's an existing old road that goes down there. And we're asking for money in the grant to upgrade that a little bit and upgrade the one that goes across, the old Highway 10. And then it'll go down, anyway, that one on the east side will go down to the Austin property. You can come along the old railroad for less than 2 miles, I'm not sure the exact mileage. Incredible overlooks of the river, and that railroad section's in good shape. Doug and Dana have been maintaining it, and they're going to allow our group to have an easement through there. So then, at the west end, there'll be a new construction piece that comes up the bank, and it'll be a zigzag type trail with safety fencing, and hook back into the west end of the upper DNRC cross trail. So that's basically what it is. I gave I'm sorry I didn't get that to you sooner.
That's all right.
I don't know, my mind's scrambled right now, but, that's the description of what we're doing. So if you have any questions. So I'm here today to ask for a letter of support for the project. We're writing a grant to the Fish, Wildlife and Parks, what's it called, Trail Stewardship Grant Program. Thank you. And, we've got the grant, the match, it's 10% match. Woodhouse Foundation, are you familiar with them? It's actually a grant foundation that Dana Austin is associated with. It was from her family, and they put money into Mineral County. Various smaller donations, like to the pool, $5,000 to us now. So we've got the cash match, and it's specifically for that piece of railroad, that zigzag trail coming up. So we've got that. All we're trying to do is get letters of support. Doug and Dana want their section of the land to be available for recreationists from our area specifically, and open to the public, and enjoyable by all. And it's an incredible thing, that they're wanting to do this.
How many acres do they have on the railroad grade?
It's about 2 miles, not even, maybe a 1.5 mile strip.
Oh, really?
And then the right of way.
Huh? Do you,
Yeah.
on the map, now I'm kind of wanting to know exactly where, are there gonna be other landowners who
I don't, we
protest?
took the map, no. There's private land ownership on low ends. Do you see it on here? The Nichols family's on the east end,
Okay.
and then on the other end are some people that are not real friendly between Doug and Dana's land and down to the the access site, the river access site.
Well, that looks like the Crystal Springs interchange.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Tarkio one.
Yep, so it's right in, it would be right in here,
Okay.
where this dips down.
Mhm. Oh, wait, that's Fords, never mind, we're back here.
It's right in, well,
Yeah, I don't even know what's on here. That's Fords.
it would be on this one, that we
And
just
that's
rolled up.
Tarkio right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, because there's Marshall Mountain.
so actually it's right down in here,
Okay.
right here, this road right here.
Hmm.
And then this one goes down to Doug and Dana's land, I think, or maybe it's right there.
All right.
So, I think it's gonna be another Murphy Creek area. We're writing the grant, I just talked to Tom Lang, who's the administrator of this grant this morning. We'll have a porta potty, and it'll be ADA, I've already talked to the Superior Septic. It'll be ADA accessible, because we wanna make sure that, all kinds of people can use these trails. They won't be they're gonna blend in with the environment as far as the ones through DNRC. They're not gonna be paved, they're gonna be graded, so it's not a smoother surface,
Mm-hmm.
but there still may be grass, and we have to replant, we have to watch for weeds, do weed control. Yeah, so basically that's the plan.
All right.
It's exciting.
If it's coming up on the riverbank, have you talked with, conservation?
Well, I don't
You said
know.
it's zigzagging on the riverbank?
No, it's
Oh, I
going, no, I'm sorry, the riverbank is on the south side. The trail will go up the north side,
Oh, okay.
and it's on Austin property onto DNRC.
So the trail deviates away from the Milwaukee and goes up north a little bit?
It
Probably
has,
because the people that actually own the Milwaukee, that have their homes on there, they have to kind of go around that complex of homes that are down there near the.
well, it's between two, yeah, no, it's all public land above, but then it's bordered on each end of the railroad piece by Nichols on the east and whoever the people are on the west.
Okay,
So in order for them not to go across,
private property.
even Austin's to access it through private property, they have to go through DNRC land.
Okay.
And they have had permission to do that for years. And I can walk it, and I'm out of shape. I've been through it, and it's just amazing, and it'll be really a good place for families.
So on the west end, on the Tarkio end of things, where does the trail actually come out and come back to connecting roadways?
There's a road that, as you're going down to the boat takeout place, whatever it's called.
Ralph's Takeout, or you mean the Tarkio
The
boat
Tarkio
launch?
one,
Okay.
yes. There's a road that goes up, after you go down across the old railroad,
Mhm.
I think, I'm not sure, but there's a road that goes up to the left, and
Mhm.
it winds up this way, and then there's a road that goes this way to private property.
Right, okay.
Well, that road is on public land.
Oh, okay.
It's on DNRC land,
Okay.
actually.
Now I'm following you.
Yeah, and there's parking available on both ends, not a lot, but
Mhm.
some. And we may do future grants and look
Mhm.
at, once we do a permanent easement, do future grants to look at more better parking areas. And DNRC, their whole mission is to protect and manage school trust
Yeah,
lands. So they want to keep things as natural as possible. So it's not going to be a highly developed area, but
So they'll allow for the hikers and the bicyclists, and that's it?
all non-motorized, no motorized. And that's DNRC rules.
But even the parking?
No, that would be
Yeah.
okay, and that's outside the gates.
So you might suggest to them if they're gonna do parking down there, maybe something that rafters could park on. I mean, that just gets hammered on that piece.
Well, it doesn't go down that far, and that gets into Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
The road you're talking about is.
Up above, yeah, it's up above, quite a ways.
Because there's always a shortage of parking down there.
And I don't know if they should be looking at that with the Fish, Wildlife, and Parks
Yeah.
study thing
Yeah.
that they're working on now. And actually, this project has come up in their discussions, because it borders on Fish, Wildlife, and Park lands too, and it's right across the river. So they're supportive too. I haven't written for them a letter of support from them because they're the ones that are doing the grants.
Good.
And two things, I have not written the letter, I was hoping Willie would, but I don't know how to get a hold of Willie for you
Just missed
guys.
him.
I just missed him.
Yeah.
And
I
if,
think
I would rather have him write the letter of support because I'm writing the grant. But if not, I will write the letter of support and I can bring it in next Friday for you to sign, if that's better.
Okay.
And shall I get back on the agenda then,
If you want, yeah, probably
for the signature?
better.
Okay, and I will get that to you. Hopefully I'll have the letter of support done by Tuesday. When is the deadline on Tuesday?
It's 5 o'clock, right?
Yep.
5 o'clock, or?
I don't really have his,
Wait,
I
noon
got
by
his
Tuesday.
number. at
Noon
home.
on Tuesday, I
Yeah,
thought that's what it
I have
was.
to have it,
I do have
everything
Willie.
prepared and sent away by.
Roland's got Willie's
I thought it was,
Yeah.
so by noon, people can get
You want me to
information.
summon him back,
Because
or
Emily
she's
Park
gonna
doesn't
call?
know
No,
that, so I
no,
won't
she
tell
needs-
her.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
noon, it's noon on,
And that's gonna be hard and fast
Sure.
from now on.
I'm sure, yeah. It's noon.
Well, that's what I thought too, but she thought it was 8 AM. I'm pretty sure it's noon.
If not, I will email you
Okay,
and let you know, but
okay.
I'm almost certain it's noon.
So I just
So
wanted,
Roman has Willie's phone number with.
oh, good.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, and this isn't, you can tell me if this is not appropriate, I could bring it up maybe I should bring it up in public comment. But there's a couple other letters that have been requested through the Forest Service, Heather Berman, they're writing 3 grants, and Brooke Lincoln's writing 1 grant for trail maintenance for snowmobiling, she always does. And then, I don't know, there's 3 grants, and one of them is, I'm not sure where, but it's for getting blowdown out of an area where it's so bad you can't even get to the trails. I think we're all familiar with that, but should I bring that up during public comment to request
Probably,
letters?
yeah, because it's not part of the agenda.
Okay, I'll bring it up to request, can I request letters then, or should I just have it on the letters are all due next Friday. And I know, and this was through the Resource
But-
Coalition, so. I don't.
You lost me now. Are you having Willie write those letters?
I'm hoping to,
Okay, but yeah.
otherwise it'll be me probably, and I don't really have time, but
So, you're
Talk to
trying to
him.
get Willie to write this one for sure. This is what we're dealing with right now.
today, yes.
So bring the other ones up in public comment,
Okay,
and then we'll go from there.
okay.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
I love working with you. Do you miss Dawn?
Yeah,
I heard from her this morning, everything went well yesterday.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, when she's
So
coming back.
you need action on us to decide on whether to sign this?
Oh, I guess that's a good
Oh, we haven't
idea.
seen the letter. How do we make?
I thought she wanted to sign this one we just read.
No, that's not the letter, but that's
That's
the
this.
information.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you wanna do the action on,
No,
if
we'll
I
wait till
write
we
the
see it.
letter and you say no, I'm gonna be really mad.
We'll have to see the letter so we know.
Better be a good letter then.
I'll get the letter to you before the meeting, so you'll know, okay?
All right,
All right, we're good?
yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll switch this one, this one reads right.
All right, good till 11:30. We have public comment.
It looks like a letter signed, but I guess she has a different one in mind.
Doesn't have a signature thing on it or anything.
No.
Easement was an agreement, or they would copy.
I learn something new every day.
Do you have any idea how much easement?
Like I said, I'm job
is in
training.
DNC land?
Yeah,
Can you tell me? I have permanent easement.
the 2 day. DNRC charges the value of the land itself per acre, with the value of the easement across the acre.
So it's probably a section.
No, with the land under the easement, how wide is it?
Oh,
How wide is the easement?
it's probably gonna be about 30 feet. And it's probably gonna be about 2 miles, 2.45 miles or something like that.
Okay, so take 5280 times 2.45 times 30. That'll give you how many square feet it is, that'll tell you how many acres it is, and then I can figure the price per acre.
Well, tell me what it is. Did you add that all
Well,
to your head?
what we do is we
No, I can
always,
do it.
just so people can remember, we always comment at 11:30.
What is assessed at?
And if there's filler time,
If it's 1 acre,
sign
if
it
it's
yourself.
1 acre, then the easement's 1 acre.
I was looking at
It's
it.
12,000 acres.
No, that's fine, yeah.
That's 12,000 acres. That's what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
There's a copy for Brian's too, if you want. That's the old, that's the language. Yeah, that's the old statute. That's the old statute.
No,
The old statute, meaning it's been,
Around since about 1890.
okay, not meaning it's been updated since then?
No, it's been in the books a long
Okay.
time.
One place they've got
A
it.
long time. All the stuff that nobody reads anymore.
Some people do.
Not many do.
oh, yeah, shooter, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the other part's on the next page.
Guess if I'd have looked at the amount over here on the left-hand side, Andy had figured that out.
Candace doesn't make mistakes.
Thank you.
So that gets what you needed.
Well, it gave me kind of an idea, because we're gonna have to raise that much money in 2 years.
We have to raise it, because the state sells it for that, they're pretty stiff about it. And what was the
They're gonna sell it?
There's a.
It should go in your farm.
River is the.
That's right here.
Yeah.
This is probably gonna take up place for the river.
What was that? Yeah.
So this is the old Highway 10 right here. This is the regular path that we'll take, and we'll come down this road right here. I assume that's what these are, as roads, you can barely see them.
It's just.
I checked the rules.
Yeah, here's the railroad, right? Yep, and that's the Austin piece.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it goes from wherever the private property is to the private property. And then it'll come up, is this private property?
You can, because the commissioner.
This,
The choice is either raise it or move it. That's the commissioner's order. That's why the permits are all there. You don't have to, if the commissioner's order. Here's the other thing. Here to guess what the result of that was. That cost city of hell $7 million.
So this is probably the old road right here, right?
that is, it varies.
So what's he saying now? Well, FEMA doesn't give us in that if there's a LiDAR done, the LiDAR takes it out, FEMA uses the LiDAR for their survey.
Of course, theirs is private too.
This is black.
It's right next to it. That is actually.
You don't have to move it, just pick it up.
Yeah, 'cause there's problems, yeah, so that's.
Well, to Blackwell Ranch.
The commissioners, he doesn't understand, the commissioners are working, it's already done. No, they also got involved, because they're gonna do the permits in the first place, right? That's why we said, I was talking about profits, and we sorted this out.
Did you see that
Because the reality is, the commissioners.
thing that I forwarded you on the email about Libby doing that?
Yeah,
That's the rule.
we knew something like that.
Well, that's,
Yeah, we have another short.
so,
That's why.
Because what's going on with the old mill site up there?
well, Johnson Brothers, I don't know. I'm just putting that far piece on the end there.
Where the post yard, where the post yard is.
Yeah, and maybe they've sold that, I don't know, something, there's something going on.
Yeah.
This is the trail.
They wouldn't sell
This is the old Highway 10, right?
Johnson Brothers, the rest of it.
No, this is, it could be,
I don't know what's.
all this is just showing it's like
Pay
a,
taxes.
Yeah.
But it became moved.
I think they were
maybe like a two track.
All we had to do was make
That's
the
what it is.
That might be,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that would be, that's the same trail. This is
Yeah,
part
it's-
of the,
They're
and
always
Oh,
there.
oh, gotcha, so then.
it also follows a.
But I don't know.
fiber optic cable.
Open risk
That's
of.
not there.
So then you're gonna
Building.
hook up actually, put it.
Well, I don't know, it's north, or north of the pavilion.
Ceiling,
There's
sagging,
private property right here.
roofs and
This
sagging.
is-
Yeah.
This is the road right here. Comes up, so
Um,
it's down.
But that'd be a good spot. I mean, it's the only spot probably that has two phase, sure it has two phases. Or did have, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like this, the old highway here.
But I don't know if anybody talks to them or they just
Kevin
tell
will not
everybody.
move this road, it's a private trail. It's way too busy, so we have to find a way to go out to Superior eventually.
Pushing any? What is?
You know, we
Take it
talked
out of
about
jeopardy,
that,
irrigation
and
gets
that's
this
something
all
we
over.
can talk
That's a
about,
good
I'm
deal.
not really excited about it.
That is,
It's more
That's
scenic,
That's
why
my
it's
thought.
big.
I don't know, we can talk about that, it's something that's
well, it does, I guess.
If I need it, yeah.
The jobs that are here, but.
and it's maintained all year
Maybe
round.
Lily can get some good products in there.
Well, that's what I'm.
When are we gonna, this is.
Yeah, yeah, so they worked out a, so.
You shouldn't have.
stuff. So we said.
Ideally, if we could come by Rivulet and then come all the way around.
Yeah, that's,
Sarah Road,
Put everything in taxes
right,
and
buy our property and then come into Sarah.
FICA and the whole 9 yards, and that come up to 70,000.
That would be a great route.
So she said, why not show you a contract? So we made him a contract.
So this doesn't really show you.
So you gets $60,000.
So he has been hired as a contract.
Well,
Oh, he has not been hired.
yes, he does.
I mean, he's not receiving pay.
I haven't seen him.
Okay, 'cause
No, I know.
I was about to text him.
But the way that it gets.
They're hired, I guess. He thought he was not hired, so. But I guess,
Well,
I guess.
like from a week ago, I mean, that's the reason.
Even out
Well,
years.
he called me 3 or 4 days ago.
We need to talk to him some more. Because he said he's going to be ready here.
Oh,
The
okay.
closer you are to the river, we have mapping, the further you get away from them, the less we have. Anyway.
So.
Yeah, I don't
He
blame him.
said he would go to the AFRC meetings anyway to represent us, telling everybody he's our man.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
He is.
Yeah.
I see, you know,
He's
I
happy.
feel like this is
I didn't realize
pulling
that there was
together into like
10,000.
one brain and we're all.
No, no.
You know, he doesn't
But
want
I
to
just,
insurance.
I think my role is just like letting people know
Yeah.
what we got.
Yes.
Yes.
And I
Okay,
think, yes,
well, we'll
I
have
think
to
it's
ask
great,
him.
I think that.
Yeah,
that's
he,
a good power, you know,
but
and
they
this is just to give them an idea of our
supposed to
needs
sat
are.
down last week
Okay.
and figured it out. I just asked him, because the gal from Sanders County called Darren yesterday.
And,
And then he forwarded
are
it
we
to
gonna
me.
be wanting to look at easements?
They're wanting to hire somebody over there, or somebody's wanting to hire over there, but they want to charge. I don't know,
Wasted
charge
energy,
$50.
wasted energy, wasted everything.
And I said, we just
Talk about
spent
wasted paper,
$60,000
wasted
out there.
packaging, wasted garbage, wasted everything. I don't care.
Get it that way, and I said, as soon as I get that contract, I'll forward it to you, copy off of that if you want. But I asked him for the contract.
Yeah, that most recent one's a little back, and it's great,
Of course.
not it too late, and I've got to go back, I think it's been a big problem.
Kind of frustrating that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Might help with it, yeah, you never know.
It really, yeah,
Facilities
yeah,
there.
of course, so, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got more on that. He has to.
She's prepared all the.
There's a reason why.
That's
the reason why.
In the grant,
Kicked our
yes,
ass.
and we can do this, under administration, not administration.
But it's not really takes a lot to
Program
not.
chairman was plans and then there's something.
But the applicants,
So
there's
she
a-
is continue all the way to the construction.
Get to,
There's no difference.
Mhm.
Coordinate with
And
Amy.
we forgot the lesson of 225 years ago. Let's do it.
It's, yeah,
Repeats itself. Yep, and they did. Why does that piss a lot of people
when
off?
we first
Hey, I said,
decided to write
that's
the
true.
grant in this project, we thought it would just be for 2 roads up in the ERC section.
yeah, you better read the
Did I tell
numbers
you
in
this?
there.
And then we got the money to
We
do.
get ready to do that.
Oh.
I'll send over.
Okay.
Totally.
You just told them that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How do we
So
want?
that's why it ended up being new construction. And I wasn't planning on that. Yeah, it is great, but I don't know what I'm doing.
After
No,
lunch.
after.
What's that?
Yeah, we probably should wait until the next
Who would want to
Oh,
do it?
yeah.
You know, we're lucky because we have to cost it.
No,
So
well,
the attorney owns his land.
yes, no, sorry.
Oh, right.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'll run down to the board so just before permission.
Yeah, perfect. Why not?
Lee, Texas.
You can get it.
Yeah,
And not one Democrat opposed it.
yeah.
You're saying the wrong piece of paper.
It's equal protection. Yeah, interesting.
It's really interesting because now the Democrat opposed it.
But they don't remove silos ago.
No, they gave him a committee
What I'm saying is, there's nobody, none of them are good, I don't care which party, they're all upside down. Silos will be in federal prison for that.
This is for the.
Kellan, I gave Kellan Office of Public
For the jail?
Administration to find those articles of organization.
Oh,
Is it
and they-
presently under
yeah.
Department of
Is that
Administration?
whipped up?
Is this
Yeah.
an office in a sub?
It's Department of Administration, yeah.
Okay,
Just
it
for
is,
1 month.
okay, that's what she thought, and she was poking around. She's looking to see, and she thinks a lot of this stuff would be online already, is
your fund account, that's a lot of people forgot, that's where they are.
That's what I told her you said.
Nobody looked this up until I sued the city of Illinois.
That's what I told her, is that this could be something that dates quite far
Yeah,
back.
and the original towns were formed by the legislature, including Gillette and Butte.
We regionalize
They
this.
were done in 1889 by the legislative act. So there is no articles.
Then we.
They didn't have to have. That's okay, that's not important.
Contract.
Hello. How's NODAC today? Okay,
I said, well, keep us informed on that, we don't wanna
okay.
jump on board something that we don't know anything about.
Yeah,
I might wait and get it all together.
I don't really think that do
Guess
it.
what? I found the wheels.
Regionalize with Missoula. They're full anyway.
Guess who had two of them?
well, if they did a regional
Six properties. Yeah,
expansion.
Great Falls.
So there, like at Mako, I've heard talk about it, there's some small counties that don't have jail, like Red Lodge
Yeah.
and Big Timber.
I had to
and
make
so
sure that-
if there was like a regional jail to house, well, so all the counties, they wouldn't have to necessarily pay in to run their own operation, they wouldn't necessarily have to be paying full rate, it would be, they kick in, kinda like Mako do, they kick in a portion on the population, where there'd be a jail for them to use, but it would be a regional jail instead of a county jail. And so,
Couple counties or three.
there'd be like 7 of them, maybe there'd be one in, Glasgow, and there'd be one in Shelby, and there'd be one in, so that's how, that's the bitch driving.
Oh, yeah.
If they had one in Libby, or then Libby and Sanders and Lake could be in one, and Flathead and, or Flathead and Lake, but then further west.
The other thing is, some
You know,
people
but
file
if it was
laws.
Missoula, they'd have to build
So
on.
sometimes they're
Mineral
filed
Valley,
services
Missoula, and
at the
Grant.
Secretary of State, like a corporation.
They picked 7 or
So
so
you also
locations where it would
sometimes will
behoove
find us at
the surrounding county.
the Secretary of State filed like a company.
I don't know where you
So
put it.
Ray General Motors filed it. Some cities and towns
Johnson
file
Brothers.
it.
She asked, her, is it kind of like the articles of a corporation, and I said, Wally said no,
They're
but
not
we
supposed
don't
to,
ask you.
yeah, they're not supposed to be, some
Yeah.
cities do,
Damn
but
it,
they're not supposed to.
190?
Yeah, I told her to clarify many things with you, but I went basically to ask her, when they find this, I'd like to see it.
Well, you can have one of those,
But
things like
sometimes
Quick Shepherd has, they'll get
Yeah.
automatic.
Yeah.
For 190, huh?
Well,
Really good luck.
what happened is, nobody knows how to do research
And
anymore.
it's probably all in a mumbo jumbo in his truck, and he just dumps it.
Yeah.
So does it look like a true port, or it comes in
Oh,
mumbo
yeah,
jumbo?
yeah, I was quite
So some of
surprised.
them are filed law.
It's like a,
The
must
city
be
of
like a
Belgrade
2-ton
was
truck.
filed and some others.
So he's got sideboards on it.
Mhm.
It just shoots it in there as he's coming.
Right, right.
Yeah, this is pretty.
No, Belgrade's full
Yeah.
of movable.
Yeah, that's, he does out there too.
Amazing how much
He,
money
he
comes
said,
out.
he said it was a piece of wood every 3 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's impressive.
I didn't particularly, it must be because of the smaller blocks. I didn't particularly care for the way some of them were split. Some of them you end up with.
Piece of kindling.
Yeah, almost, you know, and then the next piece will be great big. But it does split, you know, and it's kind of easier for dog.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he ordered a chicken wings on the river. No, a chicken. He didn't come out until night or anything else, he just said,
So they got a,
and it was just down there.
Oh, really?
Maybe,
What's the topic?
half the chicks.
Just messy trailer house yard, or?
no, I think it was,
And it was every year.
aggravated.
You know what we discovered this week?
Oh,
Rib
really?
and chop house.
Here's one that was very good cheese and
It
girl.
was in Livingston, but they have them in Montana,
And then he
Utah,
rents them.
Wyoming,
The reason we
Colorado.
were at the chop house was unique for Livingston.
Mhm.
It was over there.
Yeah, apparently they've expanded.
Okay, but they were originally over there because they opened it on my beef.
I'm telling you, that is the best.
Best steak I ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, you could cut a ribeye all through it, not just the crown. You could cut any raw with a butter knife, just.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, that Taco Bell, we won't be there.
Yeah.
But certainly in the little place, so why? And the attitude is,
I'm just checking on this thing, because
That's the new generation.
Hey, Counselor, how are we doing on the contract for the forester guy?
For Willie, trying to have it done Monday.
It's done, got
Trying to
done?
get it done by Monday. Right, yeah.
Oh, it won't be done until this coming Monday.
Yeah, Monday, 3 days from now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a week of getting stuff done. We got a trial going upstairs. It's chaos right now. That's okay. So we got the other stuff coming through our subpoenas, which has been interesting to say the least. We got one batch of subpoenas back that were encoded, then they sent the code to the judge, but not to us. So that's an interesting deal. What's gonna happen with that? That's weird stuff. So we'll see. Gives us out of trouble, though, there's nothing else we do. Steph and I have plenty to
Who,
do.
is she doing the trial?
Yeah, she's in the trial right now. The defendant fired his lawyer Wednesday. He wants to do it himself, and he is. And then his license is revoked, so he drove this morning into the courthouse parking lot with no driver's license to come to defend himself for his trial. So he gets to make his closing argument that we're gonna sign him and stick him in jail. Not very smart.
Did he brush up on his Perry Mason so he knows how to do his own trial?
We're gonna see. The new thing is, you can't lift me, you can't move me, don't pick me up, I know where you are, I'll beat you up. So you gotta see the video of him collapsing on the floor, he weighs 321.
Huh.
So his thought was they couldn't pick him up because he weighed so much. They got him.
Obviously, he's never been around rural fire departments, they get her done.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though.
Yeah, I learned a lot when I was a security, so I'm not very good at your job. 10 times.
They have a chop house in Billings, they have a chop house in Cheyenne, they got a chop house in Denver. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But they don't have one in Superior.
Yeah, we need, that's it, we need one.
The buckboard in Denver does a good steak. They do well.
What's that?
The buckboard in Denver does a good steak.
Who they have?
Done by the crowds.
Denver.
Oh,
The buckboard in Denver's good. They do well.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I said the food was so good, that I actually took almost $10 tip at St. Peter's. Tip of the year, almost $20. Tips. Because it was just, cheap food, we were professional.
That's a good place.
Did you see that,
They do well in the summer. Their traffic falls off in the winter. What is this? More seasonal than it used to be.
that was sent to me yesterday. I seen it like your guys' signature and my signature.
Oh, no, here we go.
It better be.
I think there's 3 of them.
that goes in Callahan,
Yeah,
but I figured that was what that was.
but yeah, and then you get to sign it.
Yeah.
So,
So have you
we,
seen these lately?
at the county there, there's people that work
I might go over there this weekend.
for the county directly, and we kind of
I might
control,
have to do that.
you know, their wages.
Just to harass her.
And then some people are kind of subsets of the county,
I met Chris, yeah.
like the library board. The library board has, we give the library board a budget, and those people that are on the board,
High school.
for example,
I
who's on
actually,
the board,
it was listening.
oh, it used to be that Arnson guy,
Yeah.
Arnson.
Luna's the one that said it.
And Guna is the head librarian, so the library board, within their budget confines, they decide how they're gonna spend their money, buying books or magazines or computers, and what they pay. Like, we give everybody a raise here, they don't necessarily do that because they have their own board, their own budget and their own, and the board, so we're the Board of County Commissioners, they have a library board. The library board decides how they spend their money that we give.
And I go, hey, I know you.
So the library board must have met and within the budget, you know, they're gonna spend their budget.
And
They decided
you
to
know, I kind of
authorize
shot.
new for these employees at the library. So, what we're doing, we're just acknowledging their, so that this can go up to Kellan, so that Kellan knows to bump them up, she cuts the check for the county, but the decision is ultimately made by the library board, so it's,
So,
Next year he was
like,
wrestling for-
immediately after the meeting, after we sign
He's
this out,
fine.
I can take that to Kellan.
right, so,
He took second.
They're gonna go up with this stuff probably soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
And, Work called you for something. He gave him, gave the other guy a phone, that he, it was a. Oh, good, he was a good wrestler when he next year. He was playing, he was on a football team, he was playing outfield football, he broke his calf. And so, then he got a shot in the eye. But the wrestling team had already finished. And he was on his way, they were going to a tournament, and he could wrestle him. Coach wanted him to go with him. He missed it for us. So coach, he was working one and six.
Wow, so, how's it going upstairs? Yeah. How's the shit show?
Oh, I don't know, I was just, I could never was before.
Good.
Well, the shit show started.
It's going though.
Yeah, I was started after 10.
Yeah.
Because he was arguing with us for points.
Oh, yeah.
oh, and here the,
So I could,
they included the minutes of the board.
I like the fact that you're gonna take it when he's done with his closing.
yeah, right, I was just gonna,
I think that's great. I love it.
That's kind of helpful.
I've never seen a trial do that. Like,
That
that was
Duna
just
had
poetic.
the justification, turning into
DUI, don't come DUI. And if you're suspended, don't drive, you're suspended.
And he did.
I'll do that again when you're done. I'm curious who's on the board now, to run with you. Yep.
Is he the doctor yet?
Well, I have a
Larry Jones used to be
Go talk to
on the
him.
library.
He's on break.
Like, don't drive, it's a good time.
No, that would be a good sign. I think that would be good.
Approve that.
Yeah, the lady who came with it.
Yeah, it'll be on this thing here.
This is girlfriend.
Well, I will identify her, Miranda, I heard her,
I'll leave it out.
With this.
and then she'll do it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to put it in the hat, so it's all
She said
together.
in the hall.
Oh, there we go, somebody already pre-filled it out.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
all the people on top, is that
I
who's on
need
there?
that.
Let me,
I've seen her. Keep blowing the straw there.
yeah, that's
There
it.
you go.
I'm gonna say, she lives in healthcare field.
Oh, gosh, this is gonna be a painful justice court trial in, history.
Well, what's amazing is that he fired his lawyer on Tuesday. Everyone's,
I don't wanna lie, that's crazy.
Well, the other painful.
What's
one
that?
is,
Yeah, fired his lawyer, decided to.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Hopefully he's a lawyer,
Mhm.
because
one of the Greens interview, a female, she literally said that she would hook up with me if I wanted to.
Lord.
and now you know why.
Callahan?
I think so.
So, like, she's like, yeah.
I'm still learning a lot, but I'm trying to pick up
She's
some
like,
notes.
I love it. Just a little grass and corruption there.
Yeah.
It is.
And I'm like, no, you didn't. So.
She said it. Wow.
What is this only hit that thing?
So,
Have I ever had a Disney event? That's a silly question, of course.
Don't you need victims for your training?
did you have to take?
No.
Qualify?
No.
You have to get registered?
Yes.
That sucks, doesn't it?
It does.
It doesn't suck as bad as getting tased does.
It was funny.
Well, sure it does. It's gotta be, it's gotta be.
Oh, no,
worse.
because it stays on your
Pepper
clothes.
spray is the most horrible thing in the
And a
world.
week later.
Stays in your hair.
You don't get your eye duct cleared out properly, and all of a sudden the tear hits your eyes, and
I will never be tased.
I
You don't have to get shot by a gun to carry a gun, so that's.
And I was, looking for his place over there in Burlington. I had to go through the academy. I had to get to my son.
No, it was not.
Then we had the yard sale. And he got black peppers. And he just,
Well, you know,
I know what you need. I said, no, you
Have you seen this,
And we were driving out a couple of days later.
have you heard of Chat GPT? So it's like a natural language
Insurance in Navy.
AI
He
generated
said it was considered duty.
artificial intelligence. They just released it in the public. And so Diane was like, yeah, she wanted to get Willie to write a letter.
Well, no, yeah,
I just-
I don't know how you guys did
I
it.
just said,
You have to try to find out.
You're this far away, and
I
they
said
said,
write a
open your
letter
eyes, and they.
Yeah, but then you have to.
Oh, you have to fight. You have to fight to take somebody down, then you have to punch a bag
Oh, wow.
first, and
Yeah,
then-
and then take somebody down.
holy smoke.
Yeah, that's, that really sucks.
Yeah, looked at it.
So MHP has just recently been qualified with less than lethal shotguns being made around. And so Wayne and I are looking at coordinating with them.
you think people are ready for that?
Yeah. We're dumbing America even more, now they're with the radio.
Well, you know, you gotta know how to use this, right?
Yeah.
The rubber buck was one of the-
But I mean, a kid wanting to do their paper on Tom Sawyer now, that's easy.
These 40 cal pepper ball guns go through windows.
Whatever happened to the days of just putting the rocks up in the ass?
There was more fun than that, the worst one of all, having the taser, having the pepper spray. If you wanna really have a bad day, look at your desk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have.
So Andy, February 24th, revenue will be here.
I had to do that when
February 24th.
Corey Hoffland and Robin,
Yes,
I think it's at 10 in the morning.
All
So
like 5
they're coming
different
because people want to know,
different-
you know, how, what are they doing to improve the,
February 24th.
yeah,
Like the Spitzer stuff when we
Yeah.
was in there. If they would have just shot a pepper ball gun.
Corey Hoffland and Robin, they're gonna answer these questions. I just thought of that again to tell you that, but, because on my way to work today,
Oh, yeah.
KERR had an interview with Governor Gene Forte, and he asked them that question. Oh, we got this great program out in Howard counties,
The
and
pepper balls.
the road guys, when they drive around their snow plows, and they've got a camera on the dash, and we're catching, they're helping us catch a lot of stuff that we weren't catching before. That seems like such a primitive way to try to catch and build.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
How else do you do it? We don't have a building permit, do we?
to where, you know, the final thing you do.
No, the way that we catch them the way we catch them is Matt,
Right.
Physical.
and the way he catches them is electrical ones.
Right.
It's a race.
If you're off grid, right, I mean, you can, the fuse has slipped through the cracks on that one, but
No, we don't.
And there isn't gonna be a,
he gets alerted
Coming out.
through, I don't even know its system, but
See, they taught us back
I think there's a state
You
system.
have to have them, you're going, so they know that, hey, you know what?
And so then he just is like, okay, and then he puts that on his list, and then when he's out, he's out.
You know, on that electrical and septic's gonna catch the residential, but like, when the big rich guy, after he builds his trophy home, decides to go and build a trophy shop.
Oh, yeah, I mean, afterwards, yeah.
So you can always go
Yeah.
one up, right?
That's,
So you're always doing. Steve.
they're not visible yet.
Yeah,
Using physical.
you think they could get most of that off their Google Earth or however they're doing it now.
Well, that'll be a great question for
So
him.
much of this stuff that,
Yeah,
I wonder if I even put anything.
because we have no idea.
Yeah.
Just give this back
What
to
they're
them.
So,
I don't, there's
You need more
nothing
people
in
out of freeze.
Nothing, let's just go straight to kill
Yeah.
it.
that piece up there, but we gotta.
I keep that piece, she said, and then this piece here, we give it back to her. when
Okay,
you guys
okay,
sign.
okay.
I asked her, Kelly's been.
I'm glad that she typed all that in.
Yeah, Casey did that.
Yeah, good.
Easily.
This is why I work for a big police.
We need to check that.
Why did you tell me?
Check the wood,
I said, because I was
because
also
Casey did it.
not in some position.
Depends how distracted she was that day.
Like, yeah, I pulled the camera for 55 minutes.
Yeah.
I walked up and, yeah, rolled this window this
So
far.
that stuff will go in there. That's
I'm gonna pound it.
I just wanna let
The
you know.
other thing is,
Good for you, I appreciate your service.
I'll just send them to
Keep
you
it going. I give us stuff back, I go run it, take
You
it,
don't have to
I
like.
run the ticket for 10 over.
See if that's the right
Say,
idea.
oh, here's your citation, blah, blah, blah.
So everybody's saying, I thought she was going to dinner. I said, we were at the hospital.
So ultimately,
We're gone.
what I did a lot is, you know, anything on the highway speed
I did never
restricted
ask
zone,
her
so
to
I was
volunteer.
the guy who just wrote 618309 restricted.
She told me.
And took it to court saying it was the wrong MCA and judge goes, oh my God, you don't know Ryan, like, that is a restricted zone.
She
Like,
got
he
violent
could have
legs.
charged you for this and it would have been a bigger ticket. But you need to pay the ticket, you're guilty.
The only one I've heard of the only one I've heard of take that long booty jobs, either reduction or increase.
I doubt that really had a reduction.
He said, we don't know.
Oh, really? I've never noticed, I don't know which way she would wanna go.
Here's my position. Well, I appreciate that. He says, we don't really give some.
Okay.
You know,
Well, I'm just saying what I heard on the news.
you know, I don't know.
I always just put my fire on, I just got it. Or say, hey, this one, that's real, you know, I just want to let you know.
Don't know how to back it up and erase it.
Well, you can delete everything. And besides, no one has access to it till we so.
As long as this chair should not see the here at all.
Me too, I just like, when I get pulled over, I just put my headphones here, so, I mean, if I'm carrying on my person, I just want to let you know that I have, got on my person here, like, walking. So they ask me.
No, I don't.
That's my answer.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, if you have a whole bunch of people, you know, like if 2 people in public comment, who cares if it's 5 versus 3?
That's our.
That'll do it, that's all it takes.
I know, but it's happening.
So you just,
It's happening in Ohio.
we have all the, like, the arrest letters,
Well, it's, they don't have business. They don't have-
She's in a meeting till 1, so I'm gonna talk to her at 1 o'clock.
It's a serious,
Okay.
surreptitious way to keep your hands on it.
I don't know.
And I could add.
That's a good discount. Good thing.
Thank you.
Find the article.
Just send you the.
So,
Okay, great. You guys started writing letters of support a couple of years ago for the resource coalition, and so now I can get stuck with it. I didn't sign up for
That's
children.
Randy's brother.
Children for a lifetime television.
Well, now there's two
Yeah.
robot.
It's Randy's brother, isn't it?
The only thing about Crystal Island Parks and would be original, but just adding.
Triplet rings a bell.
He went to school, as a matter of fact. He went to school with.
Yeah, so this prompt,
Okay.
so you just
Okay.
keep refining the prompt.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Say,
Yeah.
you can get 2 years older, so you're.
that's the
Summarize that.
Well, I went to the goose thing right when they. And so they're kind of cool with all that.
Yeah,
I mean, it went for
She goes, Sharon? I said,
I.
"That's you, yeah, that's me." What are you gonna do? Take out here. I think you're about 26. I said, "You're my new best friend." Then he started laughing. I was like,
You seen a tree rate,
Renee and,
well, I holy shit.
Yeah, no, I
by the way, I
think
did look for service.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna wait, Heather's from Hawaii, so when Heather gets
When I
back
realized that
on Monday,
her doctor,
first we find that, so yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
bombardment.
Yeah, it is a number of really nice homes. I mean, it is.
Well, me and my dad doesn't look 75. He was like 72. He doesn't look 72. He's 72. He didn't get great hair until he like.
I just get the photos of myself.
There's been no grandkids,
And then,
right?
and then he gained a bunch of weight.
Is that a great program?
Not very
This
active.
one actually,
So, yeah, he was always like, he was always in good shape. Like,
Yeah.
black hair.
Depends on how long.
My dad, when he passed away,
Oh, yeah.
all of this was blonde hair. Tiny
But you got
bit
to
gray,
take
boy,
your
that
pictures.
man had German black hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother's hopeful.
Well,
All right,
I
thank
was sitting here
Good
with
man.
that.
We can back up and talk about penis extensions. Oh, take for penis extension.
So you don't. So it does all that, wow.
Oh, gotcha.
So you don't say what pictures.
Yeah, he's definitely.
But the doctors now, they require cash at any point.
Oh, yeah, you can just do
die.
like unconfrontational, you know. I still remember when Jerry Johnson from Michigan tased a one-legged guy. And then they ended up pepper spraying him and we had to.
And are those downloadable?
Yeah, Joe Paul pepper sprayed like 2 or 3 people. And so it's one of those crazy
fun to see what they do.
And
What's that called?
I guess they're using recordings upstairs. So there's so many people or they wouldn't fit in.
AI art.
I saw Kim go in the elevator.
So Emily Clark,
Yeah.
right? She helps me with stuff, technical stuff, computer stuff. And we were setting up a meeting and she was sitting over. And I said, I really should learn how to do this. And she
I'm not
said,
trying to get started.
No, I've never
It's
been
a
to
command
one.
to wear clothes so when they're running and jumping through battle.
but she keeps up with all this.
Yeah.
What? Oh, they make that go to
So are you
the
gonna,
stuff.
you sent me your public comment?
No, but I usually show up. I went to school with a guy named Jim Trujillo.
So you learn a lot in those 30 minutes.
I asked him to comment, right?
Roman, I didn't agree with that article on Huntington County. Said they were the biggest timber producer in the United States. And he's the company that.
I looked at the biggest commercial timber, which they have a lot available, but they're not doing it currently, are they? But then they show the job, there's only 99 people in the logging. And all the other jobs were construction and.
Well, we're.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready to start pounding on my computer, my mouse is turned up.
We'll see if that is here after this trial. Last night, there was an hour of. Did you graduate this? Yes, I did. Did you? Yes, I did.
Anyway, I've got that gal's,
Armed forces.
that executive assistant from San Jose, I got her email here, if anybody ever needs it too.
It was.
You mean like the Darren of Sanders County?
Yep,
You've got her email in case who needs it?
anybody.
Oh,
I can only imagine.
what's her name?
Sandy,
Closing argument.
Maciel.
Huh. They have a new one up there, huh?
Yeah, said she'd been there a year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did tell me on the phone that she was relatively new as well.
Uh-huh.
You want me to forward this to you, Darren? Do you want her email?
Yeah, that way I guess somebody if I know who she is when she calls. Well, she tells me who she is. But yeah, I'll take it.
Let's see how part of the art your name is in here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you watch
I'm
that
sure
video?
not better one, yeah.
His pants on.
Yeah.
Like, the whole one side of it, and they,
Right. So here's what it is.
yeah.
Apparently not, Darren.
Okay.
Come here and type your email address.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, he's.
Here, I'll let you sit down.
Let's do it right here.
You might have to, I just started it. Might have to back it up.
Let's just put
Oh, there you are. There you are, right there. There you go.
all right, that's just type, when you go to send me something, just hit D and attach it, and then it should pop right up.
All right. It's on its way.
All right.
Popping up.
So,
I need to talk to TIS and see if I can get that put on my phone too, that way if somebody needs to get a hold of me on the weekend.
Yeah, you can, hey,
Cause I'm not here during the weekend.
No, he did. A picture of him?
yeah. And he's younger.
Yeah, I remember him.
all right, well, yeah,
Yeah.
let me know about the ticket, I'll drop it.
I think that'll be great.
Oh, really? Ah,
Forward it to you.
what did he die of?
Suddenly, so I don't know if it started. Well, they said it was,
There's not enough trouble.
Was he probably 74 maybe?
It's just.
I don't know how old he was.
Let's see, he was, how long ago was it when me and Rasky were running nights? He was 62 at that time.
Really?
We're talking like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, so it's about 70, early 70s, mid 70s. I just saw him a couple months ago, and he looked good. I saw him and his son, they came back and visited from Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
I sat and BS with him for, geez, an hour.
Yeah, when I first met him, he first moved out here, they called him Rastus.
Rastus, yeah.
I don't know if that.
Yeah, a lot of the old timers still call
Still
him.
call him Rastus.
We always call him Rasky.
Uh-huh.
His kid, Johnny Monks.
Yeah, and her name was Danny Rastus.
I don't think I ever met her.
Her brother was,
Send it to us.
she did not like you? Why, would you leave Brandy straight?
Well, I don't know, I think it's just maybe, I don't know, she didn't like any of Monk's friends.
All right, it's now 11:30 and time for public comment. Anyone has any public comment? Come to the podium there.
I'm going to, but I'm waiting to see if Andy can get some information, so you go ahead.
Okay, so the end of last year, Deb, who is my boss, has told me that she's not going to re-up my grant. She doesn't want to apply for the next round, the next 2-year grant cycle. So basically, this grant ends June 30th of this year. So I'm the only VOCA crime victim advocate here, which means, so we have Tamara and Mary Furlong that do OVW. So they can do just the big ones, which is like domestic violence, stalking, sex assaults, child abuse, those kinds of things. I can do those as well as all the rest of the crimes, which are like thefts or some kind of vehicle crash, stolen vehicles, those kinds of things. Those are the victims that I work with in addition to all of the heavy duty ones. So there is a grant out there. I have approached the sheriff's office to do it under them as opposed to the county attorney, and I have someone that will help me write the grant. But like everything, not only would the sheriff's office have to be part of a memorandum of understanding, but you will have to be it as well. Is that something that I can do?
Because that's our DUNS number, right, on those grants?
Well, they're really not even doing it with that anymore. They're doing it with a UIE or
UIE?
whatever that new number is. And every department has one. The sheriff's office has theirs, the county attorney has hers, the health department has theirs, that kind of thing. So I guess kind of asking for permission, but I hope you'll let me keep my job.
comment from the public?
Patty, is that to cover, is that grant big enough to cover Mary and,
Tamara,
Tamara too?
they have their own.
Oh, they have their own, is
grants.
that not, is that,
That's not part of this. Theirs is an OBW grant, and their cycle runs from October of last year, and it's a 3-year grant. So theirs is already done, and theirs is still, Tamara's is still under the county attorney, and Mary's is still under Missoula County.
And your grant is called what, Betty?
VOCA,
Well,
violence, sorry, I can't even tell you what the letters mean.
VOCA,
Yes,
maybe a victim of crime.
victim of, there you go, that's close enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know if Ryan wants to speak to any of this. Again, it's just like all of the other grants, none of the money comes from the county. It's all my whole salary, the office, all of that, it's all part of the grant. Any questions from you guys? Okay, if I am so lucky enough to get a grant, I will come up to you to sign a memorandum of understanding, but that won't happen until the grant is actually awarded. Okay, that's all I have.
thank you.
Thank you.
oh, there's that timer.
Here goes the neighborhood.
Sheriff Brian Funk. And so I've been approached by a couple people in reference to Patty's grant. The sheriff's office is willing to, be the part of, applying for the grant and having underneath the sheriff's office. I think it's a very important thing to the community to have somebody like Patty as a crime victim advocate, because, a lot of the times victims don't have a voice. And especially in the cases of like a vehicle crash, if you're a victim and stuff like that, that she's specialized in is more, I guess, prone for the sheriff's office and Montana Highway Patrol. And I mean, we'd be willing to do whatever we gotta do to get her underneath the sheriff's office and go forward with that and provide the county with somebody that can help the victims of Missoula County. And I got the memorandum, her old MOU, and I'll go through that, and if we have to change verbiage for whatever reason, because it's underneath the sheriff's office, then I'll do that and we can present that to you. That's it for me.
Thank you, Ryan, thank you, Patty.
Anyone else?
Diane Magone, and I am here on behalf of Rachel Ryan and Heather Berman from the U.S. Forest Service and Brooke Lincoln from the Snowmobilers Club to request letters of support for Montana FWP Trail Stewardship and Recreational Trails Program grants, I believe, and Brooks may be a different name. They are all due the 31st of January. And I had on my own computer, and also I went to the Forest Service, but neither one of them were in. I actually had descriptions of their grants. I don't remember them. I know that Brooks is trail grooming for the snowmobile trails up in the west end. One of them is blow down and around a recreational area where there's a trail. And we all know how bad the blowdown can be up there in the high country. So to clear that out, and I can't remember the other two, but what I can do is, when I get home, I'll send you the information. And then I will work with Willie to see if he'll help write those grant application, or the grant letters of support. And actually, Andy also gave me some information on how to quickly write those letters, so, with an app. So I would like to come in next Friday and present all of those letters for your signature, so I should get on the agenda, right?
Great.
Sorry, it's kind of getting down to the wire, but this is typical. And then the other one that'll be coming up is the multi-county grant that we've got set in place now. We will be meeting with the engineering firm, and Andy Short's gonna be meeting too, and he's a great resource, and to talk about that planning grant that will come through, as it comes through Mineral County. And I believe Heather will also be there, and so, our big meeting is this coming Monday, which is the start of the grant application with the grant writers. And it's DGINA is the engineering firm, I believe they're out of Missoula. And they were actually the ones that wrote the, both, I can't remember his name, Brooke always refers to him as his first name, she knows him well. He did the 2 studies that have been done already on the Southeast Trestle. And I think he's worked on some of the other trestles up in that end, so. Anyway, we're set in place really well for that too. If we get the grant, of course. And that has to be due, that is due the end of February, and any letters of support would be due by the 17th of February. So I'll get that information to you too. Any questions?
Just out of curiosity, you mentioned the blowdown in the Forest Service. Is the blowdown on Forest Service ground? Why isn't the Forest Service taking care of it instead of writing a grant or something?
They just don't have the money to take care of all of it. Because from what I understand, and again, you know me, I don't know much about anything sometimes, but when we had the fire in 2017, up Sunrise, that was part of the problem. They couldn't get up there because of blowdown. They couldn't get in there on foot because the blowdown was so bad. So, and I saw it. I don't know if either one of you guys were on the tour that we went with. Willie Pack up there. Superior North Sale, anyway, yeah, we went up, whatever that road is down there.
Flat Creek.
No, further down.
Pardee,
thanks. And we saw it up there too, it's just, there's so much of it, all over the place.
I know.
So, yeah, I know you know.
My point is, that's what the Forest Service does for a living.
Right, and this access, well, they'll still be working on this, I mean, this is them getting
I
funds.
I question why they write a grant, spend time writing a grant when that is, there used to be a program in place called a green slip sale that you could hire a logger to go out and clean that stuff up.
There used to be a lot of programs here. I know the engineering program, my ex-husband, former husband, worked for it years ago, back in the 70s and 80s, and there's very few
I'm not
in that
just
program
writing the
anymore.
letter for the grant, I'm just.
Yeah, but that's why they
amazed
cut
that they would go
the
that
staff
route,
so
too.
much, from what I understand. And this is from listening to them at the Resource Coalition meeting. You know, I mean, even, I can't ever say it, silviculturists, they have a hard time getting enough to work on projects.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just lack of people, lack of money, mostly I think a lot lack of people. But everything's changed so much here. The Forest Service used to be one of the bigger employers here, as you know. Not anymore. So, anyway, any other questions? That's a good question. And I felt like I could kind of answer it even.
Yeah. Kind of.
Thanks for the
it's not your fault, kind of.
Kind of.
No, I mean.
I know. So anyway, that's what I'm up to, and then I'll come back in next Friday with the letters.
Okay.
And I'll get a hold of Willie to see if he'll help me with them and use information that Andy provided, so we'll have them.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
I understand. My name's Clayton Ward.
Thank you. I neglected to ask people their names. Mainly because I-
Mine is probably an issue that's been brought up several times, and I understand that Darren is new to the job, and I'm hoping that they can get the website up to where I can look at the agenda. Okay, right now, the agenda is going out on a mailing list to certain people, but the average public should be able to look at the website, and I know they're working on it, but they should be able to weekly be able to look at the website and be able to see. But anything, I hope Darren can get that intact and get it squared away and, and update the website more frequently. That's just a statement I wanted to make, and oh God, another one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Last couple of weeks, when it comes to public comment, you guys posted it's a half hour, from 11:30 to a half hour. You got a person that may, well, say Ryan's upstairs having to do something, and he can't be here at 11:30. And he comes down here at, say, quarter of, and they've already adjourned the meeting. Where's his chance for the deal? If they're gonna list it as a half hour, it should stay the whole half hour. If I finish up right now and no one else has a question, it should still be open. The meeting should not be adjourned until 12 o'clock.
I agree with you.
Because someone may walk in, you know, and I noticed last week, if you remember, no one had a comment, so they boom. That's all I have to say. And I hope that, and I'm not trying to pick on people here. I want things to be done right. You know, and for the general public as well as for you guys. Make your job easier.
I wasn't here last week, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, what were you? No.
We need an explanation.
So, anyway, that's all I have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Diane McGowan, and I want to apologize for my phone ringing. And I think it's a good reminder to tell people to turn off their phones, right?
Right.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Just don't forget to turn it back on.
I know, that's the problem.
That's what I always
That's
do.
the exact problem.
Get home about 5:30 and I look at my phone and go, oh, shit. I didn't say it. Oh, gosh. Oh, wow.
Security meeting today?
Guess it ain't today, is it?
Oh, what? Yeah, oh.
Because they're in the courtroom.
Shane went out.
Yeah, I know, it's
Zoom.
It's supposed to be.
Zoom. He's on Zoom anyway.
I hope somebody canceled it. Because it was supposed to be in the court.
And that's not your meeting.
No, okay.
Yeah. It's one that the district court judge wants to have every once in a while. A commissioner.
Oh, she's probably in there.
She's in there, yeah, Talbot is.
Is it a district court meeting or is it a justice court meeting? I'll ask Wally
What?
about the meeting and what's going on. 'Cause is it, maybe this is a justice court meeting happening in the district court room that is bigger, or is it a district court case?
It's a justice court case.
In the district.
Happening in the district.
So
court.
Jamie would be free, Jamie would still be free to do Zoom.
She's up.
I don't know that for sure, but
Well, is Jamie in the courtroom?
Really quick.
You did think about lots.
Is Jamie in the courtroom?
I think so.
But that's
So do you know
good to
anything about the Shane Benata, the district,
So we-
the meeting, the security meeting
So
with
does
the?
that tell me?
We were
Sheriff.
scheduled for a courthouse security.
Well,
meeting.
Or do you have to do it on your?
We do these like monthly.
Yeah.
It's at 1 o'clock.
But we always do it in that
It's
courtroom.
called GPT.
We don't do it in the courtroom today because it's trial.
It's,
But he always comes down on Zoom, so I don't know if
Yeah.
Jamie's gonna have a Zoom in her office or something.
I'll ask her.
it
Yeah,
takes a
Dwayne's
little-
got
Yeah.
10 minutes
It's
to
not
know.
necessarily intuitive,
Yes,
right?
it's a-
Okay.
Maybe we can call her.
She's up there.
I'll go ask her.
Not if she's in-
Maybe her aide would answer the phone.
Yeah, the deputy, he was in there right now too, but I don't check.
Okay.
Working on it.
Nobody was in the.
It's got like 2 doors.
Okay.
I'll go check it.
Thank you.
They just got the jury and then they
I
got.
forgot all about that.
Okay, that'll be
Yep.
nice.
I know you really wanted to go. So I wanted
Well,
to-
we haven't had one for quite a while.
Is it at
The last one he
Is it at 1
postponed.
o'clock?
High noon,
Huh?
Noon?
Yeah.
noon to 1, I believe.
Yeah, usually Wayne comes,
Yeah, and I have court, so I can sit into it until I get called to testify today.
I have another public comment.
but if we don't have anywhere to have it,
Yeah.
I just always had to let him know, I never even thought about it. Go ahead.
See, if I sat here all day, I could come up with a public comment every 15 minutes.
I bet you could.
This public comment concerns the, it's Diane McGone, concerns the forest planning. And I believe next Friday from 10 to 12 is the initial coffee chat over at the Forest Service building. And I had asked last time if there was a way we could coordinate. It's on a Friday, and this meeting with their meeting, because I think it's something a lot of us want to be involved in, because it's the kickoff to the forest work.
What was time was that again, Diane?
I think it's 10 to 12,
10 to 12
yeah.
at the Forest Service and Superior Office?
Mm-hmm. And I can send you that information, but I don't know if you want to take that into consideration with the,
Yeah, if we could work our schedule around it, maybe we should
Yeah.
go over there.
yeah, that's what I
It's
was
next
going
Friday.
to
Yeah,
Well, Willie can do this for us too.
I wouldn't mind being there as well.
I thought you probably would want to be there.
It's not any of the formal meeting,
It's just the kickoff meeting and to start the whole process.
because he is, according to the, if they
Working for
recognize
us.
that, if they recognize that cooperative agreement,
Oh,
then he is our representative for the county commission.
Who's that,
What?
what? Oh, Willie?
Yeah,
Yeah, and the guy
so
last.
that's just in the formal planning that he's.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the guy from 9 Mile talked about it last week, so I don't know if you remember what he said about what this meeting would be, but it is the kickoff
Yeah.
meeting.
It's, as long as it's just that, but in those other, in the formal get down and dirty and planning part of it, that is not
Right,
public,
right.
that's not a public process.
No, but it seemed, I went to some of the ones in St. Regis, you did too, for the St. Joe.
Yeah, but not a,
No, I know, and I think this is part of the public stuff.
yeah.
And you could attend those kind,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
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 You know, and I don't remember who sent that to me, so, but I will forward it to you when I
Okay.
get home. And let you know, so,
Okay.
and Darren to you as well.
And if we can't make it, then Willie will be there, and we probably can't make it because Don's not gonna be back. So it'll take over this year.
Unless you just had the public go over there for, as part of your agenda item.
Have our meeting over there.
Yeah, you've got other meetings
No.
elsewhere.
Not during the Forest Service.
she means included as part of our meeting. Commissioners will be at the Forest Service office from 10 to 11.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
She doesn't mean take our business to the Forest Service.
No, good grief, no. I don't know, you know, it's just something to think about. I
Like
know,
we do on a field trip, Commissioners will
Yeah.
be out on Red Bull.
and you've done field trips before, yeah.
Willie can represent us there. That's what we're paying him for.
It's up to you guys.
He's the
I'm
chair.
just giving you the information.
He's the chair for now.
Time fired.
I'm number 3 now. It's Dawn.
Boy, you've been demoted,
I've-
all the way to the bottom. Well, thank you, but
you.
anyway, I'll get more information.
Yeah,
so
thanks
we
for
can
the heads up.
Get that word out too.
If she was back, then one of us could skip over there and
Yeah.
do it, but
But, you know, I mean, like Roman said, you might think about a field trip type thing too.
I did.
For a half hour. Oh, you already thought about it?
Yes.
You didn't vote.
You're right, I didn't vote. You asked me to
What
think
are
about it. You asked
He
me to
controls
think
the
about it.
agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you wish you had me back now, Diane? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's a
You
real-
did ask me to think about it.
Yeah.
Hi, Juliet Miller. I would like to thank you guys. I would really like you guys to know how appreciative I am of you kind of corralling this and getting it back on track. This morning's admin part of your meeting was phenomenal. That is exactly what we want to see. That's what the public wants to see, is you guys working for us to make sure that we're not paying higher taxes in the end. It's really appreciated, and I know that a lot of people will have great feedback about what you did this morning. Thank you. Part of the issue that everybody seems to think I'm fighting against is the video by you guys, and I'm not. I want you to know I'm here as a resource to help if he needs to learn, or if there's something I can help to make the process easier. I did own a business doing video and publishing for 20 years, so it's not something I want to covet. It's something I do want to share so that you guys can get the best quality out for the public. Thank you for changing the bottom of the agenda. It changed. Last week, we lost our ability to comment on public agenda items. This week, that's back. I don't know if that's a change in policy or not, but it's a policy that should stay. If you're making decisions and making votes, then the public has the right to participate, and we do have the right to know. And we can't know if we aren't allowed to ask questions. So please, thank you for continuing that part of the public policy so that we can be involved with you. I appreciate you taking Clayton's comment about do not change the 30 minutes. If you say you're gonna have 3 minutes, then you guys need to be here for the 30 minutes, because anybody can walk through that door. And you know that did happen last week. So it can happen that way. And you can't have a commissioner screaming at a public member during public comment saying that's a dead horse, that's a topic we're not gonna discuss, because our public comment is how we get information from you, give you information, and when you're being told that it's a dead topic, then that's disrespectful to the public. You don't know until you hear what they have to say if it's a dead topic. And frankly, even if it is a dead topic, it's public comment. It's not asking you guys to do anything on it until an agenda item. So I do appreciate if you guys give the public the same respect that we want to give you, not shouting down, not telling people that they're irrelevant or dead topics. So it is appreciated, and I really look forward to this. We got lots more room, maybe we could bring some more chairs up, or for your video aspects, you might consider rearranging the room some more. I'm glad you guys got the table out of here. That was a big waste of space. But if you guys put a microphone here, make sure it's a microphone so everybody back there can hear, and not just so you can record, because that's kind of what the whole point is that people that are hard of hearing, like Clayton, if he's sitting anywhere behind a speaker, he can't hear. So if you're gonna improve it for these guys recording, then be sure to improve it for the public listening too, that is present, and don't count on it just being after the fact. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys. I don't want your job. Trust me, I never want your job, and I appreciate that you are doing this job. Roman, thank you for being around as long as you are, and I do hope that Mako in turn helps us improve and resolve the issues that we currently have, because that's what I'd like to see with you guys, not against you guys. So thank you very much, and welcome aboard. You're in for a long ride.
They changed it till next week,
Oh, okay.
which will still have the same issues we have for next week.
Oh,
Yeah, so due to lack of interest, today was canceled. It's next week.
due to lack of interest.
It's the 27th. There's interest.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Do you guys know how long Dawn's gonna be out? Is there a possibility of her zooming in on that? Is that maybe
On
an
that
option?
what?
Your security meeting?
Oh, that would be a quorum. There's only one commissioner, and long ago, this has been going on while Commissioner Simon is assigned to this court security task force with the sheriff, a commissioner, the judge, Jamie. It's about the district court judges that come out to the courtroom. So it's not a regular.
No, I was just wondering, is that something, if you need, because you need the commissioners here, but you also need to be there, is that something that maybe?
That's why they have it at noon, so that he's not missing any business. He just goes up on his lunch hour and sits in on the meeting with the judge and the sheriff, and then he comes back for the meeting.
Except they're having a trial.
That's what I'm thinking, is that, can you guys, maybe, is there a way to do your part of it Zoom here instead?
Maybe.
Instead of going to the courtroom, you can do it here,
Never thought about that.
and that way you can still participate in it and not miss it.
Yeah, that's a thought, yeah. good thing.
As evil as Zoom is, it does have its good
Well,
uses,
and
and
the
a
judge-
lot of people are using them.
All he'd have to do is find a computer anywhere, him and Ryan, because
Yeah, exactly,
the judge Zooms from Missoula, he doesn't even travel out.
exactly,
So the judge is already doing it via Zoom.
yeah, and that's what I was thinking, was maybe there is a way to work.
Well, I guess not my office, but someone's office.
Yeah, so next week, Ryan,
Yeah, next week.
maybe we could look into,
Zoom on there?
yeah,
Yeah, all you have to do is hook up your computer and then like Zoom up on, you can do Zoom on
Sure, it's got like connects and all that, or is it all
the,
Bluetooth?
everything's right here. We may have to look at how to do it, but
Yeah, when they did the opioid, Zoom, we had it right on
Right.
there, and they were able to just
Yeah.
plug
Yeah.
laptop, didn't have to do anything for
Dawn knew
that.
how to do that, 'cause she did it when we do the town hall meetings.
There you go.
Now,
Well
you've
done.
asked your questions, don't you?
Well,
I don't know.
I just have a question about
1, 2, 3.
So is that an open meeting?
podium.
I just wanna have a question. Is that an open meeting?
If it's a question, you don't have to answer it, but you can. It's not because there's not a quorum of commissioners, it's just him. I don't think
So if
Shane
you're setting
Banana.
up in here at noon, we have to all, the public has to leave because it's not a public meeting.
Well,
Yeah.
if there's more
Is that
than one
true, Ryan?
commissioner
there's
here,
there's a participant list,
Mhm.
Shane Banetta, Landy Holloway, Deputy Mark James,
I know, but
Yeah.
that's
Alvin
not,
Romero.
so
it's by invitation only.
Yeah,
if there's more than one commissioner, then yes,
Right,
then you could walk in the
right,
door,
I know
it's a
that,
quorum. But if I was absent, then Ryan and Dwayne could have it here, or he can just
But
go
the
to
door would be-
Ryan's office, he could go to
Yeah.
Ryan's office and do it via
My
Zoom.
whole point is if you do it in here, is it a public meeting and can the public be here?
The location doesn't denote
Between
the
12
public
and 1.
meeting. The more than one commissioner is what decides a public meeting. This room can be used for anything, but if there's
I
more
know.
than one, so it could be a Republican meeting, it could be the Basket Weavers of Montana meeting, but if there's more than one commissioner, then then everybody can come to it.
All I'm asking is, if you guys have the meeting here with Dwayne or whoever, can
No.
public come in and sit in
No,
on the meeting?
the judge doesn't
Or is
want
the
it,
door gonna be shut?
the judge wants it to be just a
That was my
participant.
point. So
Yeah.
between 12 and 1, the door would be closed.
And the point is, it's a security meeting and the judge doesn't want everybody in
Yes,
on it.
yes, so the door would be closed.
Or they could have it in another
Right,
office.
right, no, I know that, Julie. Juliet, I'm sorry.
But they
No,
were
I-
saying
no,
they
I'm
could hold
saying
it, they could
using
not
this
hold
room.
it here, they could even go to Ryan's office,
I
so.
know that.
Yeah.
That means the door wouldn't have to
Yeah,
be
that's a
closed.
thought too, Ryan, if you'd rather.
well,
do
I'm
it.
a juror next Friday.
Oh, are you?
I'm number one, but
All right.
I doubt I'll be.
Well, then
What
you could,
about
you
Wayne?
could, you could sit in.
Yeah, we could have Wayne come in, or I can, my computer's, I can try to set up, because I think Tom have a camera, I can try to set up Zoom in there if you wanna
Okay.
be seen. If not, you could always, of course, not be on camera and still do Zoom in my office.
Yeah,
I'm down.
So this
I'm
room's.
willing, if I get picked as a juror, I can give you keys to my office and have you sign on and do it from my office, that's great. And I have like 4 or 5 seats, so even if Jamie wants to come down or whoever else, they can come down and do it there. That
Okay.
makes it easier.
Sounds good. All right, 12:01.
Yeah.
Our public comment is closed.
no overtime.
No.